College Kings is back, everyone. It is your co-hosts, Nate Dogg and CDM. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing good, sir. About yourself?
Doing great. If you can see our little graphics here, we're moving up. We're doing our thing.
Getting on up there in the world.
Hey, we're getting better every week. But yes, another great week of college football, my brother. How was your college football weekend?
I mean, we won, dude. We smacked. I was fine, dude. Jalen Milroe's the dog. He is the man. There was a lot of other good games that I watched as well. Some disappointing games. That would be Penn State, always disappointing me at this time of the year.
Fair.
And then some other good games, like we'll get into that in a minute. But it was a fun week of college football. This week is going to be a little bit different, but we're just building our way up to championship weekend. We already have our first championship set. It's going to be the SEC championship. The Georgia Bulldogs going up against my Alabama Crimson Tide. It's going to be a fun game. But, it's college football, man. It's getting closer and closer to the end. Got to savor every moment that you have with it.
That's the truth, man. It's crazy. It's almost over, bro. I started thinking about that yesterday. It's like, dude, we are literally pretty much at championship weekend. What the heck is going on, dude?
It's sad, bro. It's so sad. It's just like the season's going by so fast, and I just don't want it to end.
It always flies by, man. It's always so sad when it's over. But these are the biggest games, and that is what people get up and get excited for. That is the beauty of the end of the season. Everything matters just a little bit more. But let's get into it. Some of these massive games that we had last week. We'll talk about those games as well as some. Got a lot of headlines going around college football. We got to talk about. There's a lot of chatter. Teams, coaches getting fired, coaches getting banned, teams ineligible because the NCAA is the NCAA. No shock there. Hey, no shock there. Players getting hurt, star players. So we're going to talk about a lot of those kinds of things, as well as always giving y'all our top 6 teams and our Heisman candidates, our College Kings Heisman watch, and the playoff predictions. Once again, these are getting to the nitty-gritty. All these ones they're getting a little tough. It's getting tougher now. Teams
are getting down there, man. I'm telling you.
And we're going to talk about a scenario that I don't know what would happen. We're going to talk about that later. If a certain team beats a certain team and a certain team keep on winning, there's going to be some pandemonium in college football. We don't have that on the script, but we'll dive into that talk in a minute. But let's get into some of these headlines that have caught the college football world by storm. Obviously, the biggest news in college football when it comes to off the field, I guess it's technically includes on the field, is Jim Harbaugh being banned for the next 3 games.
Second suspension of the season, dude.
Massive.
6 games he's missed because of 2 suspensions.
Insane.
And this is not a good punishment at all. This is just not a good punishment, in my opinion. Suspending him for the next 3 games, but he could still coach during the week is stupid. That it doesn't even seem like this is a punishment, dude. It's just a slap on the wrist and keep going.
Hey, you go ahead, bro. You got the floor.
It blows my mind. How do you get caught? How do you get caught stealing signs? And I don't even know I don't even think he knew about it, but I think he knew about it. Pretty sure he had to know about it. And you just get suspended for 3 games? First off, what we saw from the Penn State game and what you've told me, they're not going to be able to beat Ohio State with this coach, in my opinion. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't think this coach knows what's in front of him when it comes to playing Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, when they're really not.
Yep.
But 3 games is not enough, dude. 3 games is not enough at all. I feel like, they're playing victim a little bit. The Michigan Wolverines are kind of playing victim.
Bro, they went for it on 4th and 2. What the heck was that on their 40-yard line?
Dude, Buffalo is stupid. Okay, sorry, Monday Night Football. But no, they're trying to play victim because I saw every Michigan player put on their Twitter, bet what, dude? What are you trying to play victim for? You literally got caught cheating. There's no playing victim at all. You're not a victim. If there's victims, it's everybody that you played.
Hey, did you see Jim Harbaugh said they're America's team now?
Yes, dude, and that was BS. You're not America's team, okay? There is a fine line from America's team in Michigan. You're not even near that, bro. You got caught cheating, and now you just get a slap on the wrist and keep going. He'll be back for the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they'll be back. He'll be back coaching. It makes no sense to me that this kind of like these circumstances happen. And if it was any other head coach, like any other head coach in a Power 5 conference that's not named Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh, Ryan Day, somebody like that, somebody with a big name like that, they're getting fired. They're out of the door ASAP. There's no investigation going on. They're going to get caught and they're going to get fired. I don't know what the NCAA is seeing to keep Jim Harbaugh around, more or less keep Michigan around in the playoff talk when they get caught like this.
This was the Big 12. I mean, Big 10, though, not the NCAA. NCAA still hasn't filed or done anything.
Well, I don't see I understand with these private conferences with every Big Ten coach and the commissioner for the Big Ten. I mean, there's evidence, bro. There's clear, thought out evidence that they got caught cheating. And yes, other stuff came out about other Big Ten schools doing the same thing. There should be a whole wide investigation, but it all started with Michigan. And Michigan, for them having to play the victim, for them to play the victim card, for them to still be eligible to be in the playoff race is insane. They should not, dude. I mean, they're going to steal an opportunity away from a school that actually deserves to be in the playoffs. And if they go on to win a national championship, I feel like it shouldn't even count. I feel like it'd be a vacant win. Because there's no way you can tell me that this is not right for college football. It's not right for college football at all. It's showing people that you can kind of get away with stuff like this and nothing, and like barely any consequences happen to you. It makes no sense to me. I can't stand it. I feel like Michigan should not even be considered a playoff team at this point. Yeah, they're playing good ball. Offensive line's playing great and everything, but at the end of the day, you got caught cheating, and cheaters should not be able to prosper. And right now, the saying is cheaters always prosper, something like that. And that's what's happening right now. They're getting their way, and it makes no sense to me. I can't stand it.
Yeah, we glitched a little bit there, but dude, yeah.
Sorry.
I did think it's both of us. Yeah, man. I mean, it's insane what's going on right now when it comes to college football, and I try to understand both sides. Like, I do believe, man, we are glitching hard.
Yeah, we are lagging bad.
Let's see. All right, I think we're good now.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, I mean, this is the developments in this story just keep on, like, it's just the plot thickens every single time. We find something out new. The crazy part is that I saw on a story or in his interview not post game, I guess his presser, he said that he found out about being fired on social media, which is just like, it's like exactly how I expected him to find out, because it just doesn't feel like anybody understands how to control this situation at all. Like, there's a part of me, it's like, first of all, how can you suspend them if you don't have evidence, right? And if they don't have evidence, that's just an entirely another story, that if he's not involved or if he is. Logically, you could probably say that he had at least a slight knowing. Like, at least someone said something, he said, just don't say it out loud. Like, I didn't hear that type of thing, you know? Like, maybe he wasn't encouraging it, but maybe he was just like, don't say that around me type of thing. Keep your mouth shut around me. And that wouldn't surprise me at all. But when it comes to, this whole situation with them now filing a restraining order as well, it's intriguing to see if they're going to get that appeal in their favor, that restraining order in their favor, and he can come back against maybe Maryland or even Ohio State, which would cause even more chaos, because, I mean, they are already, and I hate it for the players more than anybody, that they're going to always be looked at as a cheating team. And if it comes down to one rogue staffer and a couple of other staffers, man, I hate that for that team, because this team is so talented. They are so good. And Jim Harbaugh, I mean, he's been caught up in a couple things recently, but his most recent one was because he gave us a recruit a cheeseburger, and then this one is that was before they could pay players, and that's why he got suspended at the beginning of the year, and now you get this, and it's like Jim Harbaugh has not really had much controversy around him in totality of his career. So there's a part of me that says, man, do I think Jim would do it? I don't know Jim, so I can't say yes or no. All I know is all these coaches are looking for any competitive advantage they can get. So I believe any coach would do this. I believe there's more coaches doing this. So my biggest takeaway is I think this is just the start of an what? Oh no!
Yeah, there it is.
Jeez,
pop that ball right out.
I just think this is the start of something even bigger than just a Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. This is going to be we're opening a can of worms with how many teams might be doing this, how many teams are going to get caught doing this, and it's crazy that when you get rid of one controversy with these players getting paid, and now you get another controversy with the sign stealing, you get these rogue staffers coming out, these whistleblowers saying, that's what I was doing the same thing as Stallion. I was doing exactly what Connor Stallion was doing. So there's a lot to take away from this. My biggest thing is if they can get this, this restraining order in, they I don't know how that all works, but like if it goes in their favor and he comes back early, man, there's gonna be a lot of chatter. It's gonna
be an eruption in college football.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going to be pissed off about it, dude. If they get this lawsuit done. Speaking of lawsuits, you see the Lane Kiffin got a lawsuit against him, but now he's trying to get it dismissed.
Yeah, that one's weird. Yeah,
I
should have put it in here. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so what I'm talking about, so a defensive player for Ole Miss did not show up for 2 weeks because of mental health reasons. We take mental health very seriously here. Didn't show up for 2 weeks. Coaches, everybody reaching out to him, and he never answered. Lane Kiffin was asking to speak with him. He said he wasn't ready. So Lane pulled him in the office and said, he said some very choice words, but he put it down in a hard way to where, a lot of people were giving him a lot of slander for it, but a lot of people are praising him for it because
hold it real quick. I'm gonna play this for us real fast here. Let's see.
Viewer discretion is advised for language.
Let's go to Twitter. Play. Come on now. Don't fail me now.
I can't hear it.
Dang it. Why is it doing this? All right. I'm going to do some work. CDM, you get back to your topic here.
Well, Lane Kiffin told him, do as it said on the screen, do your research about mental health because we can't kick you off the team. He got kicked off the team because you don't show up for 2 weeks. You don't call, you don't email, you don't talk to your coaches for 2 weeks. Apparently, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks. He didn't talk to him at all, and he's expecting to play. And when the head coach asked to talk to you, you go and talk to the head coach. He said, I didn't want to at the moment. He said, well, you can get out then. You're done. You're off the team. Do your research about mental health because we can kick you off the team because it's an obligation. You go to school because you go to school. You go there to get an education. Once you hit the football field, once you hit that facility, it's your job. You're obligated to do your job. If I call in for 2 weeks for mental health reasons and I don't answer calls, if I don't answer their calls for multiple weeks at a time, I'm going to get fired. That's how a job works. And if if your mental health was that bad, why weren't you reaching out? Why weren't you getting more help from your coaches who obviously were trying to help you through what you were going through? It made no sense to me. And it also showed me that this kid probably was not taking this subject as a serious matter as to not fulfill his obligations as a player. Because once again, there's people right behind you that are willing to go out and do what you want to do at a better level than you can. And once again, I take mental health very seriously, just as everybody else should. But if it's that serious and people are trying to reach out for you, you take the help that you can get. But for him to not answer his his coach's phone, every other coach that called him, Lane Kiffin, who personally reached out to him. It showed me that his obligation and his mind were not in the right area. But yes, if he does have mental health, probably did have something to do with that. But once again, if you're refusing to help,
Whoa.
what? What's going on? Nate?
CDM.
Oh, you said, oh, my bad.
Did you not hear that? Did you not hear that?
I heard your mic.
Did you hear that echoing?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was asking about.
Okay, hang on. And we're back. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulty.
Okay, awesome. But as I was saying, obviously this player did not take it to a serious matter as to not take help. And, if you have mental health, always reach out to somebody that you know, that you love, that you're comfortable with, because that is a very serious matter that's going on in the United States right now. For everybody, men, women, children, take it very seriously and reach out to people that need help, and make sure you check on your friends. But also for this player, fulfill your obligation as a player on that football team. And obviously he did not. You can get kicked off for doing something like that. And I think Lane Kiffin did a good job at what he did for taking initiative in the situation. Yes, he may have said it in a kind of a harsh way that most people think it is, but at the end of the day, he's a head coach. So he's thinking for better for his team rather than, than one situation at a time.
Yeah, completely agree. Let's see if we can hear this now. Sorry for these technical difficulties. I am trying something that might not work. Let's see if this works here. Let's go to Twitter. All right. Let's go here. Play. Huh? Do you hear it? I don't hear it. Well, I tried. All right, I tried.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he got kicked off the team because he refused to contact his coaches, especially the head coach, who you have to talk to. But yeah, that's another big thing that happened in college football this weekend that was getting a lot of talk. But another thing about another head coach that happened, am I going along with the script completely? Am I going at the right direction? Or can I start this one?
Hey, go straight ahead, bro.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher got fired. As Nathan says, I am the prophet. I am the man who called this last pod. I said maybe it's time to flip the chapter on Jimbo Fisher. And Texas A&M pulled the trigger on that one right there and said, hey, you're done. You're out. And now they have to pay this man $76 million. So, kind of a win-loss situation. But at the end of the day, Jimbo Fisher did not bring to the table what Aggie fans and what Texas A&M was promised when he was hired as the head coach. When he was hired, people were expecting at least a New Year's Six appearance, possibly an SEC appearance, and maybe at the end of the day, a playoff appearance or national championship. And they never got close to that. Never got close to him. And yet again, yeah, he did come off an impressive 51-point win against Mississippi State, but he's never had an amazing season that really took your breath away. Like, oh yeah, the Aggies are here. Yeah, the Aggies are going to take over the SEC West. Jimbo hasn't done anything. Jimbo beat Nick Saban one time. You can call that the highlight of his career because that's about the only thing that you can. I mean, there's nothing good came out of the Jimbo Fisher years. Yeah, you went to bowl games and you won, but you went to bowl games. You never went to an SEC championship game. You never even were a legit threat to make a playoff game. He never had a losing season. He did have some really bad seasons for being there for 6 years. But he never had like a really bad losing season. He was just never brought what he promised, and that was everything that I've mentioned. But I feel like at the end of the day, Jimbo Fisher was always getting out coached these past couple of years, that he never could get over the hump of beating the certain teams that he needed to beat. Granted, he did beat Nick Saban, but then Nick Saban came back the year after, and then the year before, and then the year after that, and beat him. I mean, and he never could get over that hump. When he was at Florida State, he was the king of college football at that point. He was the pinnacle. Like Florida State was back when him and Jameis and all of them were on that team. And then comes to Texas A&M, finds out what SEC football is all about, and realizes it's not a cupcake walk. It's legit. Like, I mean, no disrespect to the ACC either. Florida State's killing it over there. But, I mean, this is not a cakewalk over here. This is like, if you want to play some good football, come play with the big boys over here down south. I mean, that's where we're at. And he just like, I've never been a big fan of Jimbo Fisher, especially since he started talking smack about Nick Saban. Never liked him. But I think Texas A&M made the best move of getting rid of him and possibly starting off new. There are certain names that are floating around in the coaching train for the Texas A&M job, Dan Lanning being one of them. Stephen A. Smith pointed out this morning that he would like to see primetime Deion Sanders there. Because, I mean, look at the talent they have on that team, bro. Look at the talent. I mean, money. I mean, once again, money can buy you recruits, but it can't buy you wins. And that's one thing Jimbo never could understand is like, yeah, you had one of the best recruitment classes of all time, but ultimately, where did that get you? It didn't get you anywhere. It got you to a bowl game.
There.
But whoever gets that job, you're either going to have a room full of talent or the transfer portal is about to be Texas A&M players nonstop. It's about to be insane. How did you feel about Jimbo getting fired?
Yeah, man. I mean, this one, I got to give it to you, bro. You saw it coming before anyone else did. And, I mean, the writing was on the wall. Like, no one's going to just act like it was like, oh, my God, this is so shocking. It was just a little shocking. It happened after a 51-10
blowout,
win.
dude.
Yeah. Beat the snot out of Mississippi State, and they fire the guy. But, yeah, like I said, the writing was on the wall. It was about time. And, you know, I think the AD came out and said that they were just stuck in neutral. Like, that's all it felt like. And that I couldn't agree more. Like, their biggest win, you may have said it. I was working on some things over here. But, I mean, their biggest win's BAMA. You know, that's their biggest win since Jimbo's been there.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And that wasn't even, like, the best Alabama team. Like, that was his biggest win since being at A&M, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, you want to beat Bama as many times as you can. If you're an LSU coach, it's required to beat Bama, you know. But you also got to win the other games to get into the SEC championship, you know.
Exactly.
They weren't even been had even one season where it's been, like, remotely close, you know.
Mm-mm.
So, it's interesting because I do think Jimbo is a good coach. I just don't know. If the SEC's for him. I think he can go to a lot of places and turn around a lot of programs.
Hey, Southern
I mean,
Miss
he's
is
won a
looking for head coach
championship
right now.
Hey, go to the. Hey, I wore it for.
Yeah, as you were saying, yeah, he did win a championship. He's a national championship coach.
Like, it's not like it's this most far-fetched thing that he can't win in places. I just don't know if Texas A&M was the spot, man. Like, I do believe if he had stuck it out, you know, waited a little bit longer, he would have been LSU's coach. Who knows what would happen there? Everyone had tied him to LSU for years and years and years and years and years. And I was always the same way with him, like, I don't know about that. I don't know about Jimbo. You knew you were going to win some games. It was just there's always that extra element of, do you win the big ones? Are you going to get to the championship? And as much as I got respect for Jimbo, but I also know that, like, all right, you couldn't win with this recruiting class that you had. Like, bro, all right, bro. Like, I know you had quarterback issues, injuries. But that's football, you know. You got to be able to overcome those kinds of things. So I was a little shocked that it happened after a 51-10 win.
Well, they're still keeping him on as the offensive analyst until the end of the season.
Yeah, which is honestly smart. You know, it's kind of
Coach
Owie. You know, like, hey, we're gonna keep him to the end of the year, and he's gonna move on, but we are gonna get rid of him. You know, kind of start that head coaching, you know, pool.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, as I said, it's a win-lose situation. Because I mean, at the end of the day, he's getting a bag. Like, he's getting paid.
And that's the question.
So like 2027?
Does he even coach? Does he even coach anymore? You know,
I wouldn't, dude. If you're getting paid $76 million,
he's got a good personality. He could just go to TV. You know, like, why not?
Yeah, he could just be a broadcaster. Just go to like CBS or something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Like, Coach O dipped after he got his bag, which I do believe Coach O will come coach again. A lot of people are saying that state job might be the job that he wants to go to, which, hey, that might just lead us right in to Mississippi State. We're not going to stay too long on this one, but Mississippi State did fire their head coach, Zach Arnett, after their 51-point 51-10 loss to Texas A&M. This one makes more sense.
This one seems more logical, but I don't even know who Zach Arnett is. So I mean,
I ain't gonna stay too long on it. Obviously, the whole situation with Mike Leach last year and the tragedy that happened to that team, and and that entire area in Starkville. But and he was so loved and awesome. I mean, I still see highlights of him post game and talking, and it's just like this guy was clever.
Dude.
He had such a good personality, and it felt like this was an emergency hire. And I don't want to talk bad about anybody when it comes to something like this, but like this guy was only hired because he was on Mike Leach's staff, and they wanted to bring someone in that had that, camaraderie. And I get it, but when you lose a coach like that, it almost feels like you might need to just blow this whole thing up,
Hey, man, there's only one pirate in this league, man.
Yeah.
There's only one pirate.
It just felt like they were trying to hold on, and then they didn't hold on completely because they didn't do air raid this year, and Will Rogers was playing his best ball in the air raid, and and it never felt like Zach Arnett wanted the job, in my opinion. Like, and that's easy to say sitting on the couch, with my remote control in my hand. That's easy to say, but like, it just never felt like he was the guy. It never felt like he was a guy when it came to coaching. Just was given the job and tried to do his best, and it just didn't work out. That he just didn't motivate this team. This feels like could be like a Raiders situation where he's out the building. Maybe this team kind of pulls off some upsets. Might beat the snot out of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Hard task this weekend for them.
That's just a terrible game. That's just trash.
That's not a fun game. There's some State fans at work that believe Southern's going to win this game. I'm like, you just don't know that Southern is just as bad.
Just as bad, man. Like, they're terrible. Like, but this game could be good, honestly.
It'd be interesting to see what they do against Ole Miss, in my opinion. They're going to be playing their butts off. I don't think they win, but they're going to go. It's a rivalry game.
That defense is going to get cooked by that offense.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible.
Jackson Dart, I'm expecting Jackson Dart to put up at least 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, Dart got hurt. I hope he gets back this.
Oh, well, guess what? You got Spencer Sanders right by him.
Hey, I was a Spencer Sanders defender for too long. No longer. Can't do that anymore in my life. But, man, that's all I really had to say about Zach Arnett. It was time to make the move, and some people wish they would have waited to the end of the season. That's not me. I think this was a move that you just kind of had to make.
Hey, State fans, thoughts? I heard Jimbo Fisher's hiring. I heard Jimbo Fisher needs a job.
Oh, Jesus.
You just got to pay him a bag.
Pay him a bag. Oh, Lord.
But then, didn't someone get hurt this weekend?
Yeah, we did. We had a big-time player go down for Texas, man. This is some sad news. You don't ever want to see something like this happen to a team in the top 10. But, yes, Texas's running back Jonathon Brooks tears his ACL, out for the season. Massive injury. A guy that's really been playing some unbelievable ball. You could
probably
argue
he was back in the country.
That literally just took the words right out of my mouth. You could argue that
so
point.
Good.
He is ridiculously talented and was leading that offense without Quinn Ewers in there, and you lose a guy like that to just a tough injury for running backs. Obviously, the ACL tear is not nearly as bad as it once was. Like, these guys get back in 6 to 8 months now with the ACL, but literally, there's only 2 other running backs you could put in that conversation, and one of them didn't have a good day at all this past weekend against UCF for Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon, and then Bucky Brooks, and Bucky's just he's fun to watch, man.
Wait, Bucky Brooks or Bucky Irving?
Well, I said Brooks. I meant Irving.
Yeah, Bucky Irving. Yeah, Oregon's running back. Yeah, So losing this running back for Jonathon Brooks to Texas, that's a big loss. It's a very big loss in that offense that brings it all together. I mean, you have Xavier Worthy, you have Quinn Ewers, you had Jonathon Brooks, you had who's that Georgia transfer, that wide receiver? Mitchell. That offense is loaded. Offense is fire, but losing him is going to be – I don't think it's going to be that big going down. Well, going into the stretch right now, it is kind of a big loss. Never mind, I retract that statement. It is kind of a big loss for him going down this stretch of games because you're about to get into championship week. You're about to you're about to like figure out if you're going to be a playoff team or not, and you really needed him. And I mean, once again, he's probably been the best back all season long. I mean, the explosiveness, the downhill running, the being able to read the line and find the gap that he needs to get into, and just getting outside and being able to make plays. I mean, he's so good. And losing a player like that, it may push your team a little bit harder. It may push them to play a little bit harder now. But I mean, that just means the next guy behind him's got to step up and fill those big shoes that he left behind. But I hope he has a safe and fast recovery. But they're gonna have to figure out, how they're gonna run the ball now. Who's gonna be their guy? You got to reach back into that running back room and see who's gonna be the next guy to step up.
Yeah. It's crazy, crazy world when it comes to that injury world, when it comes to the running backs. I mean, you never want to see a player go down at that caliber. He had, some really big hype going into this, in stretch of this season. And now,
dude, there's another turnover.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh.
Another bill, and the Broncos got the ball. It's James Cook's second fumble.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man, this is disgusting. Oh, no, Josh Allen dropped the ball. Josh Allen just dropped the ball.
Bro, what the? Yeah, that was just bad. Just bad. Iowa quarterback, breaking news, Iowa quarterback Petrus has entered the transfer portal as a grad transfer.
Oh, God.
He was
super
so
duper
bad.
Senior.
That dude was so bad at football, man. He's not going to. He'll
terrible.
get picked up by somebody, but like D2. Hey, D2 championship games are happening this weekend. The playoffs start for D2 football. So, hey.
Speaking of D2, James Madison, who recently just moved up from D2,
there you go.
Undefeated season, can't even play in the postseason this year. Cannot even play. Nathan, explain why they cannot play in the postseason.
Yes, hashtag FREEJMU. First of all, it's a whole thing, and it's hard to fully grasp, I guess. But the biggest points are, all right, so I'll just lay this out for you. They are technically ineligible because any team reclassifying to FBS that wasn't in FBS cannot participate in a bowl game for 2 years. All right, and
2 years.
This is actually in basketball is 4 years. Well, how does that make sense? I don't understand at all.
I would just not play. I would just not play basketball for 4 years.
I mean, yeah, and it's thanks to the NCAA rule, and I don't understand why you can't, overturn that. Let's see. It says the university did file an appeal in November 6th, which has denied two previous requests. I mean, this is crazy. This is more than just missing out for these players. Which they deserve. They are 10-0, undefeated. They deserve
leading their conference.
They deserve to play in the big games. I mean, this is a New York Six bowl team. If they went out and they're not going to get that opportunity. And the biggest thing here too is also the money this school's going to miss out on, bro. Oh my God. A Sun Belt championship, a big time bowl game. I mean, it's ridiculous. I get it. They violated some rules and you gotta punish teams, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, we're going to talk about punishing teams.
Broke rules. It's not even breaking rules. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is reclassifying. This doesn't make any sense.
Like, that's not breaking rules. If we're going to talk about breaking rules, just go ahead and just hop on Michigan's ass for a second. There needs to be repercussions there. This is not repercussions, man. This is just this is reclassification, bro. This is them trying to move up and play against better opponents and show the country, like, hey, come play at our university. Hey, we're actually a legit team. And now they don't even get the opportunity to show that. And as you said, dude, they're missing out on like millions of dollars.
It's so ridiculous. I don't understand it to the even slightest extent. I feel bad for them because I watched them last week, and I mean, this team's good. Like, they're a good football team. I'm excited to see them on College Game Day this week. They're them versus App State. That's an interesting Sun Belt matchup that I will be tuning into because the Golden Eagles are in the Sun Belt. We're sadly not in the championship running here because we are ass.
3-7.
Ass. But hey, back-to-back wins. We're right back on track. We're gonna beat State.
I don't think he could say that.
To the top. But for James Madison, ridiculous. Not much else to say. Like they've done everything they can, and they've filed another waiver or appeal to get this stupid rule fixed for a team that legitimately could make a run for a New York Six bowl game. Like, dude, this is so stupid. This is so freaking stupid. You know, this team is. I remember when Coastal Carolina got the big games, and everyone was, you know. And that's different. I know.
Yeah, no
I
one
understand.
batted an eye.
I get it. It's a rule, but it's the stupidest freaking rule I've ever heard. If you can win in a D2 and come to D1 and still win,
and go undefeated at the moment, like go undefeated.
Why are you penalized for that? That doesn't make any sense.
No, dude. It just shows. I mean, that just shows. It shows absolutely nothing that the committee cares. I mean, or like the NCAA doesn't care.
It's so stupid. The NCAA is so stupid. Isn't that extent?
Hashtag FREEJMU.
Hey, hashtag FREEJMU.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to them because they're balling, dude. Like, they're dogs.
They're dogs, man. I hate to see it, but yeah, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. That's pretty much what's going to do it for us. There is one last fire that we'll talk about. The Penn State Nittany Lions fired their offensive coordinator, Mike Yurcich.
Who cares? He's a bum and he's out of there now. How do you this dude was terrible. This dude's awful. Like, his offensive play scheme was trash.
Terrible.
Like, I've never seen a team not take no deep shots down the field. I think they take like maybe one or two deep shots down the field, and they're like, it's like once a game. You have so much talent at quarterback.
Two? I don't even think they do that many times, bro.
No, probably not.
I think they have the least amount of big plays, 20-yard plays in the country, bro.
Dude, that's terrible. Like, I know you want to I know you can win football the old-fashioned way, but you got to have explosiveness. You got to have explosive plays that get your team downfield. And he did not have any, especially with Drew Aller being the quarterback that he has. Finally, like a quarterback that Penn State desperately needed. And you don't have anybody on the outside to throw to him, for him to throw to at all. You're throwing you're doing these little dump off plays. They get you like 5-6 yards, but ultimately you can't get down. Like, you cannot push the ball downfield like that. Nope. You have to load up, like 6-step drop back and launch it deep. I mean, literally, you have the next Josh Allen on your team throwing the ball, and you're not letting him unleash the cannon. You're not letting him use the arm talent that God gifted him to make your team better. But ultimately, if you want to make the team better, get him some players to throw to. But they made the right decision of firing this bum. Dude was trash.
Trash. Get him out of there. They are ranked number 72 on offenses in the country. Yeah, there's some good teams in here, but it's the eye test, man, more than anything. Like, they've had games where they put up 50.
These past couple weeks.
Yeah, well, they have games where they put up 50 against these bums, and then they can't do anything against the good defenses, and that's what it matters.
Yeah, literally, they shut out Iowa 31-0. 31-0, and then
they beat the snot out of a team the week before Michigan. Who was it?
Like Madison Central, something like that. I don't
think it was
I don't know.
Bad.
Some bum team, bro. It's like the school of the blind and poor.
Madison Central talking about a damn high school team.
Talking about a high school team.
I gotta see. They played a decent team and beat the snot out of them. It may have not been a decent team. Maryland. They put up 51 against Maryland. Like,
that's who Michigan has to play this weekend.
That's gonna be bad then. But I mean, hey,
they know the signs. It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I ain't got much to say. Good move. Maybe he'll save James Franklin another year, even though I don't know if he deserves that job anymore either. But we'll talk about that later on in the podcast. Let's get on to the Week 11 recap, brother. Amazing games this week. You had yourself
really fun game.
An amazing game as an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and they might just be the hottest team in the entire country. Hey, CDM, give me your thoughts here on.
Man, we're looking like hot fire right now, dude. We are cooking. Like, this offense is finally. The offense looks the part. The defense looks the part. The coaching staff looks and feels the part. I'm still a little iffy about Tommy Rees when it comes to playing Georgia. I don't know how he's going to do because that's a big team, and usually when Tommy Rees has to coach against big teams, he kind of craps the bed. But other than that, Alabama is finally looking like how they were in midseason form, how everybody expected them to look at the beginning of the season. It may have taken some time for them to look like that, but now they're hitting it on the right track. Getting an early loss at the beginning of the season is not bad. But hitting your peak right now or going into the peak of your game of the season right now is perfect timing for Alabama, especially now that they clinched the SEC West and are going to play in Atlanta against Georgia for the SEC championship. It's perfect timing. Jalen Milroe, 6 total touchdowns, absolute unit of a man. I'm talking about. I'm speechless. I'm speechless to where he's come from since the beginning of the season to the middle of the season till now. It's amazing to see the improvement, the confidence that he's built as a player, and that builds confidence in players around him. That makes your teammates want to play better for you, like you're playing for them. Kevin Steele, defensive coordinator, out coaching everybody right now, coaching phenomenal games on the defensive side of the ball. We look complete. Nick Saban does not look so as pissed off as he was at the beginning of the season. Fair. He still does get pissed off because, that's the way he is. It's okay. When you're the GOAT, it's okay. You're allowed to. But Alabama is finally playing like the team that everybody thinks they are, how everybody expected them to play. And it's amazing, It's awesome. It's finally feeling like we have a legit chance to make a playoff run, to run the table. I think we can run the table, but we need just 2 things to happen, in my opinion. We need the biggest 2 things. We need Texas to lose a game, and we need to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Everything else around us, Pac-12 team losing, Florida State possibly losing a game, probably not going to happen. Ohio State, Michigan playing at the end of the season, that's going to be big. But if we have Texas lose a game and we beat Georgia, there's no way you can't tell me that Alabama's not in the playoffs. If Alabama wins the SEC, and Texas loses the Big 12, no matter what, you have to put Bama in the playoffs. But we are looking fine. We are looking on fire. We have caught lightning in a bottle, and we are running with it. This team looks amazing. This team looks good now. This team looks like a legit threat. And once again, nobody wants to play this team right now. You're not going to want to play this team. If you are scheduled against Alabama, you don't want to play them right now because they're pissed off. They're ready. They're hungry. They want everything that's coming to them right now. They want all the smoke. Jalen Milroe wants all the smoke coming his way. He heard all the chit-chat. At the beginning of the season. Oh, this dude's a bum. Oh, this dude's not good. Oh, he can't throw. Oh, he's stupid. He's making stupid decisions. I eat my words, dude. Because I was that person. I was honest to God that person who said that. But I have apologized. I've already said it before. I apologize. And that was me. I said that. That was me. And now I apologize again. This team is just looking phenomenal. And the defensive side of the ball is good, but the offense has impressed me more than anything because Tommy Rees finally has come to his own and formed the offense around Jalen Milroe. So we played really good. It was Kentucky. Kentucky put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, we put them down. So, roll tide. We're here. We're here to stay. Georgia, get ready. See you in Atlanta, December 2nd.
Oh, the call out. I love it. Hey, let me throw this at you real quick before I go on my tangent here on
Go
Bama.
ahead.
Is it really possible that we might get a playoff with no SEC teams?
There's no way. There's no way. You have to have the SEC. There's no way on God's green earth. There's no way on God's green earth you do not put an SEC team. Nobody's going to watch it.
Fair.
No, nobody's going to watch it. You got to have at least one SEC team in there for people to watch it. What do you think? You think people are going to want to watch people like Michigan and Florida State and Washington and another school like Texas? You really want to watch Texas in a playoff game? You really want to watch Texas get the absolute dog crap beat out of them by Ohio State or Florida State. Like, honest to God, no, you got to have an SEC team in there because you know why? That's what brings in the freaking money. That's what brings in the dough. Okay, nobody goes to watch Big Ten and ACC and Pac-12 playoffs, bro. Nobody pays money for that. You pay to go watch the SEC dominate, and that's what the SEC does, and that's what they will always do. So yes, if the committee does not put an SEC team in the playoffs, they're off their chain, dude. They're stupid. SEC is making the playoffs this year, no matter what. And it's going to be Bama.
It's going to get loud if they don't put an
Oh,
SEC.
dude, it's going to be disgusting.
It might get louder though if Bama beats Georgia, Texas wins the Big 12.
Oh, I'm going to be pissed. I was talking about that today, Nathan. I will be so pissed off if they do not put us over Texas. Because I'm telling you right now, if Texas goes and loses, like if they win their Big 12 championship and we beat the number one team in the country, you can't tell me we're not. You can't tell me we're not in. You can't tell me that. Who has Texas beat besides us to really think that they are a legit opponent? They beat us week 2. Congratulations. You won your Super Bowl. If that's your national championship, congratulations. You won it. You're done. Oh, my God. Round of applause for the Texas Longhorns. We're back. No, you're not. You're not back. Shut your mouth. Sit down. You're done. Okay? You're not. No. SEC is going to be in the playoffs this year, and it's going to be either Texas or, either – next year. That's next year. It's either going to be Georgia, Alabama, or hell, both of them. If it's a one-loss Georgia, are you really going to boot out a one-loss Georgia?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's so interesting, man. I mean, does beating the number one team in the country avenge your loss to Texas? But if Bama's beating Georgia, is Georgia the best team in the country? And how loud would Texas fans be after beating Bama and getting jumped by them? Man, the committee is rooting for Texas to lose or Bama to lose, man. I promise.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the state of Austin would have an uprising.
Oh my God. It would be bad, dude. Like that might be keeping them up at night. Like, please God, just one of these teams lose.
I'm praying Texas just fumbles the bag.
They cannot both win, man. This cannot happen. That's what the committee's got to be saying right now. Because just imagine an SEC-less championship. Oh my gosh. I mean,
it wouldn't be watched. It wouldn't be sold out. No.
Oh my gosh.
I would not. I wouldn't watch it.
That's shocking. That would hurt you shocking.
No, I'm kidding. I would watch it. I would watch it. But it wouldn't be the same.
Man. Let me get to my Alabama talk real quick. I ain't got much to say. You kind of hit the nails, where I was going to hit them. I mean, this team is – good play to Denver. There you go. Yeah, this team is, hey, they're cooking, man. And I don't want to sound like a broken record if you've been listening to the pod for the past few weeks, but, I've been high on Milroe. I believed in his ability to improve throughout the season. And, man, he has become a weapon rather than just a player. They wanted him to be a point guard, and he's become more than just the point guard. He's becoming the star almost, and that's a big step. I didn't know if he would take that step. I didn't believe he would take that step this season. I put it on Twitter. I mean, this guy's going to be a legitimate Heisman candidate next season. His ability to change the game with his legs is Heisman level. It's Heisman level talent. He has Heisman level talent with his legs on top of the, he misses. He's going to make a bad throw. It's mainly bad reads, less than accuracy with him. It happens. He's going to he might throw an interception a game. It happens with him. But, man, he's got ridiculous deep ball accuracy. His timing's getting better. Like I said, some of the decisions he makes are not going to be perfect. It comes with the territory with a Jalen Milroe, and he's just going to get better at that, over the offseason. So I could see that kind of being erased from his game if he keeps improving. He is very fun to watch when it comes to college football quarterbacks. Like, watching him do what he did this weekend at Kentucky was like, oh, jeez, man, this guy right here. This guy right here, dude. Like,
dog.
I mean, his past few weeks, those defenses are not good. No one's saying that Kentucky and LSU are the best defenses in the country, even in the conference. But, I mean, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do to a bad defense, and he's cooking them. And all this does is instill confidence in him and instills confidence in the coaches and instills confidence in his teammates that, hey, we have a guy. Like, we have a guy that can win us game. Not just point guard us to a game, assist us to a game. He can win you a game alone. Oh, Russ with the shovel pass there on 3rd and 7. Wow, what a play. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really got to say is Jalen Milroe is the sole reason this team is as hot as it is right now, and that's nothing to take away from this elite defense. This defense is awesome, but a good defense, a great defense, is not much when you don't got a quarterback that can put points on the board. And
exactly
when Milroe's doing what he's doing, I mean, I'm not saying they're the best offense, but they've hit another level. And that level, that they were not good on offense, and now they are to a level where, with this defense and the best version of this offense, it's a championship team in my opinion. So, I mean, it's about consistency now. Can they keep this thing up? I know they got Chattanooga.
That's all. Yeah, you got to be consistent throughout these next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Chattanooga this week, which
get caught sleepwalking.
Never. If we let up a point in the first quarter against this team, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna call Nick Saban myself, be like, "What the hell? What the hell is this? What are we doing?" But no, I mean, I think we have a championship caliber team finally. The biggest test of the season is going to be Georgia. That's going to be because that's going to be one game that turns college football upside down for sure.
Hey, Chattanooga 7-3, bro. Quietly 7-3.
Ooh, congratulations, 7-3.
Hey, bro. Hey, their only losses.
Okay.
Their only losses are to North Alabama, West Carolina, and Furman.
Are these like D2, D3 teams? Like, what are these?
This is the Southern Conference. No, I think this is FBS.
Like, how much are we? My question is, how much is Bama playing the school to come to Tuscaloosa and get their just get wrecked?
Here, just to let you know, they're in the same conference as the Citadel. So,
dude, oh my god,
this is D2. This is D2. Yes.
Oh, dude.
Wait.
I couldn't imagine.
Oh no. It's Division 1, 2A.
Division 1, 2A. We got 2A. What's 1A?
I didn't know we had a 2A.
I didn't know we had those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so the SWAC in Big South. Okay, this is kind of how they Ivy League. So yeah, it's D1. This is how they kind of get those basketball teams in there.
No, that's just D. That's crappy D2.
Hey, bro, what are you talking about? Oh God, these teams are bad.
Okay, exactly. My point's been taken.
Portland State's D1. I didn't know that. They got beat down.
You got put 81 on by Oregon. They're D1? Not after that game.
There's Big South. I was about to say, there's some good teams in there.
Can you reclassify after one game? Because if I was Portland State, totally would reclassifall after that Oregon game.
It's time.
I'd have been deuces, Bob.
We gotta get out of here, guys. All right. Hey, CDM, who's the best Ivy League team this season? Go.
Harvard.
I just had it. I lost it. Oh, wow. That was a hell of a guess. That was nice.
Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. That's true, man. Hey, Harvard #1, Yale 2, Dartmouth, Brown, Penn.
Shocker. Harvard and Yale are the best two in Ivy League. Wow. They're the best two Ivy League schools.
Hey, Columbia. Get Columbia out of here, bro. 2-7. These guys are bums. These smart kids.
Dude, that's cheeks right there.
Get rid of the program. Put that money put the money in the education. I don't even know why you're doing this.
Just keep baseball. Just keep baseball.
Yeah, fair. Hey, Princeton's in there. Hey, 4-5. Hey, keep playing baseball. Just keep playing.
Yep, That's what I tell Vanderbilt fans. Man, just look when Vanderbilt fans try to talk to me, I'm just like, just wait till baseball season, man.
I was about to say, hey, they got Kennesaw State is the only FCS independent. Hey, keep playing baseball. Just keep on playing.
Keep playing baseball. Any Ivy League team out there listening, keep playing baseball.
Hey, keep playing baseball. One of these teams, the team we're about to talk about, we talked about their coach. Well, let's go talk about their new coach and his beautiful and impressive post-game interview that inspired the hearts of everyone in America. Even so much so that Jim Harbaugh was saying this is America's football team now, CDM. Let's see what he had to say. Sharon Moore post-game after beating the Nittany Lions.
To win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sherm, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. I love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. Did this for you. For this university, the president, our AD. We got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Talk to him, man.
Dude, he looks like an Ewok from Star Wars. Oh, wait, and another thing. Get them fake-ass tears out of here, you cheater. Get out of here, you bum. I don't care. Cheaters don't deserve real tears.
This guy right here.
I don't care, dude. I do not care. Don't care at all. No, I put it on Twitter. I'll say it right now on the pod. Get those tears out of here. You're not worth it. No. Take you and your Ewok and get out of here. You're done. You're done. You know what? You're done.
Yeah, I disagree with you strongly.
And the fact that you're hopping on this train is just disrespectful to college football. Shame on you, sir.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
Shame on you for liking cheaters.
I never said I like cheaters, bro. All I gotta say, bro. All I gotta say. Let's see. I had the tweet out here. Let me make sure I got my tweet correct here.
Oh God, please don't let it be my tweet.
We're pulling up history here. No. All
All
right, I got my two tweets about Michigan game. Michigan with the dub, but this is a question, but can they play like this against the Buckeyes and win? Not too sure. Still an impressive dub. But I also said, wow. Hashtag Michigan versus everybody after that post game with Sharon Moore. Did I spell his name wrong? No. Oh man. Maybe I did either or. Sharon Moore, exclamation point emoji. That emotion is what college football is all about. I didn't pick up on the fake tears, CDM. Did I? Am I oblivious to fake emotion?
I see fakeness. I don't care. I don't care at all. Cheaters are going to cheat. I don't support cheaters. Nope, I don't. I do not. Nope. Congratulations, you beat Penn State. It's the best win of their season. Literally, it's the best win it's the first ranked win of their season. It's first ranked win of their season. But since we're hopping in on this, we're going to talk about Michigan and Penn State. Congratulations. Congratulations. They beat their first ranked team. They beat them. Congrats. Now, as you just said, are they going to be able to play against Ohio State with this head coach and beat them? My answer is no. I don't think so. I don't think that this head coach is going to know what to do when going into this big game against Ohio State. Yes, it is, and it is in Michigan. Yes, Jim Harbaugh can still coach during the week. So, they'll have a game plan, but it's all about, can you execute that game plan when the day comes? And right now it's looking like Ohio State is on a very good run. Marvin Harrison Jr. is looking to be the best player in the country right now. Kyle McCord is looking to be a good quarterback for Ohio State right now. Their defense is outstanding. Their offense is outstanding. I mean, their running back room is insane. I mean, Henderson is a monster in the backfield, absolute stud. But I don't think it'd be enough for them to really go and beat an Ohio State team like this, especially with everything that Ohio State's been told, that they're not good enough, that they're not going to be able to really compete with teams like this. But at the end of the day, I mean, Michigan's got a dominant run game. Their offensive line is stellar right now. But the biggest thing about this is, does James Franklin get fired, or should he be fired from Penn State? Now, we've all seen the record for James Franklin when it comes to playing top 5 opponents. He's like 1-16 or 2-15. Oh, dude, it's bad. It's terrible. Fact of the matter is, he is 102-55 as a head coach overall, and he's one of 6 coaches to have a 60-win% average. So that's pretty good. That's really stellar overall.
Man.
But when it comes to playing big teams, first off, your 2 rivals in Michigan and Ohio State, who you seemingly cannot beat, is very sad. You're like if you could pull up the stat, it's like 1-16 against top 15 opponents. He's only beat Ohio State like maybe 3, like not even a handful of times he's beat Ohio State. It's just he hasn't gotten over that hump of beating those two teams. And then, I mean, who knows? Usually they go undefeated and lose before they play those two teams. Usually they'll lose a game to like Iowa or somebody.
He is now 4-16 combined against Michigan and Ohio State in his Nittany Lion tenure, while dropping to 3-17 against AP top 10 teams.
Oh, dude, that is cheeks. It's terrible. It's awful. But I don't think he should be fired yet. I don't think he should be fired. Correct. You have to remember, this dude did coach at Vanderbilt. This dude did lead Vanderbilt to winning seasons. If he can do it with Vanderbilt, he could definitely do it with Penn State, which he already has. He's won a Big Ten championship at 10-2. It seems to me that 10-2 is the only record that he can get to at this point.
That's his ceiling, bro.
That's his peak. I mean, that's his peak. 10-2 right there. You're done. I don't think he should be fired yet. I think you got to give him one more year. One more year with the team that he has right now to really surround Drew Aller with more skillful play at the wide receiver position. He's already got 2 stud running backs behind him. So running back room is good. Running back's fine. As long as they don't enter the portal, you'll be good. Defense, an elite defense, obviously. I mean, they hold Michigan at like 25 points. It's really not that bad. 27 points.
Yeah.
It's not that bad for a defense like that to give up 27 points. I feel like you got to give him one more year. See if you can get Drew Aller, somebody on the outside, a couple of pieces to surround him with to really launch the ball downfield. I think that once again, they took the right direction of firing their offensive coordinator. I feel like this will really open up the offense as well. Because once again, you have the next coming of, you have a Josh Allen type player like throwing the ball. So, I mean, you have to find ways to surround him with talent to make him a better player. We've seen it in college. We've seen it in the NFL. You have to surround your supporting cast with better players to help your chances of winning. And I mean, if he can just get over the humps of beating Michigan, of beating Ohio State, in my opinion, the biggest one is Ohio State. He's got to beat Ohio State. Yeah. He's at least got to beat them. He can beat Michigan. He can. I know willingly. I've seen him do it. We've all seen him beat Michigan. We've seen him beat Michigan bad too. We've seen Penn State be in top 4 rankings. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be able to get over this hump of not beating your arch rivals. And that's what I keep saying about Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin can't beat Nick Saban. James Franklin apparently can't beat Jim Harbaugh or Ryan Day. I mean, he beat Urban Meyer one time off of a blocked field goal, and then that changed the game. Yeah. But you have to be able – I think you have to give him one more year to try and surround his team with better talent, and then maybe, just maybe, it can happen. But if it doesn't work out, obviously you got a 40-ounce bounce him out the door.
Yeah. I hear you loud and clear, brother. I'm done. It's over.
I understand.
This guy's got to go, bro. Like,
dude is not what everybody thought he was.
Hey, listen, I respect the commitment from Penn State. There's not a lot of coaches that would be able to stick around with this kind of pedigree against good teams. Like, they would have gotten rid of him already. Respect it, Penn State. I understand y'all are committed to this guy and, have loyalty. It's over. This is done. It feels like there's only one coach in college football that could peak out at Vanderbilt at 9-3 and also only peak out at 10-2. I saw that on Twitter. Don't want to take that credit, but that's not good. You go from Vanderbilt to one of the most pristine colleges in the country, and you get one more win. You get one more win
and one less loss.
Hey, this is over, bro. This is over. This is over for me, at least. I hear you. You ain't got to jump off ship yet, but for me,
I'm not jumping off yet.
I hear you, man, but I'm done. I'm done watching this team do the same damn thing year after year, year after year, year after year. It's over. This is done. James Franklin's got to go. Penn State's got to go get a new guy. One of those guys just got fired. Hey, maybe a Jimbo Fisher? I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
I hate that. I wouldn't cheer for Penn State. I can't stand Jimbo Fisher. If I saw him in a Penn State outfit, I'd cry.
Oh man, jeez, you gonna give up on your team, man? Your team?
They're not even my team. I'd rather have Oregon over Penn State right now.
Fair.
Very fair.
I don't know, man. It just feels like overstayed welcome. You're not waiting to. I mean, come on, bro. 3-17 against top 10 teams is. I'm not even talking about Ohio State and Michigan. Those are very tough teams every single year. It's gonna happen. It was a long time before Michigan finally got Ohio State's number. And they've done it back-to-back years. So I'm not even holding that. It's the 3-17 against top 10 teams. They don't win the big games, bro. They don't even come close. And it's just like that's the stickler for me. Like, come on, guys. It's time. I get it. I would love to see Drew Aller get another opportunity with him, but I also would love to see Drew Aller have a chance at winning a big game because James Franklin is not winning a big game in my lifetime. It's over. Especially it's over. For James Franklin.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think after this season, they really sit down and think about what's going to be the future for this team. Because, once again, this team is good. We've all seen it for the past couple of years. The team is good. They just got to get over the hump.
Yep.
And if you can't get over the hump, then obviously things have to change, and that starts from the head coaching position.
Facts. Couldn't have said it any better than myself. All right, CDM, let's keep this thing rolling. Rolling.
Dan Lanning shuts down. Dan Lanning. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, Dan Lanning shuts down words of him being the Texas A&M head coach. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
that's stupid for people to think.
Oregon's hell. That's a better program, bro. What the?
Oh my gosh, dude, 10 times better program.
Right? Come on. Nah. All right, let's keep.
Speaking of Oregon, the Pac-12, another cinema game, as Nathan would like to describe it. Nate, you start us off. We are talking about Nathan's Washington Huskies taking down the Utah Utes in another beautiful, beautiful game and another spectacular performance by the Washington offense, but not a very good performance by the Washington defense. Nathan, give me your opinion on how you felt about this game.
Nah, no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to win this game. No doubt.
Oh, it's we now. It's we. It's been we. It's all season. My bad. Sorry.
No doubt in my mind we're going to win this game, bro. Utah, hey, respect. Offense decided to play some football. I respect that. I like that. Hey, the pig farmer, he was ready. He came out there, came out the pigsty, ready to go. Got to give him credit for that. Hey, he's a dog. And he's actually pretty good at football. Like, he might transfer out and get a good job somewhere. But, yeah, I'd be lying if I was not.
Sorry, I hate to cut you off, dude. I just saw this Broncos have the lead 22-21.
They're down, bro.
Nah, 22-21. Oh, wait, yeah, I meant the Bills. The Bills.
Yes. I have a chance to win it, though. I would be lying, though, if I didn't say this defense is a concern. This defense is a major. Then look at that missed PAT now, bro. That's where it comes in, bites you in the ass. But yeah, it comes down for me. Like Washington is so elite on offense, and there's a couple teams in the country that have such elite offenses and terrible defenses, and Washington's defense is not absolutely atrociously bad. Like, it's not good by any means. Like, it's probably bottom 50. And
here you go. I got you right here. 386 yards given up on defense. That's a game. That's per game. 386 yards.
That's a joke, bro. What the heck?
That's terrible. That is awful.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say.
It's not. It's better than USC's defense. Don't get me wrong. It's way better than USC's defense, but not by much. Like 386 yards is insane.
You said 386?
Yeah.
And pretty much right where I thought, pretty much. Yep. They're in that bottom 50 behind.
Oh, yeah. They're like almost in the 70s.
This is ridiculous, man.
For an elite offense, as you said, it's kind of like BAMA. You can have an elite defense, but you have to have a quarterback that puts up the points. Washington is the opposite, an elite offense, but you don't have a defense to get a stop. Like, no wonder you have to score. They average 41 points a game. No wonder you have to average 41 points a game because your defense can't stop people from scoring half the time.
Jeez, LSU's defense is so bad, bro.
Oh, it's atrocious. It's down there.
106, bro.
Oh, my God. That is atrocious.
Yeah, Southern Miss 112. At least we ain't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely the biggest concern for anyone that's, likes Washington. Yeah, Washington, number 99. Yeah, there they are.
And defense?
Yes.
Holy. Oh.
That's bad.
That's bad.
But, yeah, it's a concern. Major concern. I mean, they can score with anybody, so they're always going to have a chance to win. Like that, I just don't see them ever getting blown out this season. I don't know if that's a possibility anymore.
No.
Maybe if they face like a Georgia or somebody, but I mean like in regular season.
I think I smell that. I smell some revenge.
You smell
Smell some ducks. Smell some ducks, dude.
I don't know if they could smoke them, man. They could beat them.
No, I mean, that defense is pretty good. Well, I think we all think the same. Oregon has the best defense in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
It showed it in that game when they played Washington. 33-36 only held that offense 36 points.
They Utah's defense, bro. And Utah's got a really good defense in the Pac-12.
Look what Oregon did.
Yeah, I know.
Oregon smoked that team.
Oregon's way hotter than Washington, so it's a possibility. I just think they can score with anybody. I don't think they'll lose by 20-something points by anybody personally in Pac-12.
I could say I could see the largest being
I could see
17.
a double digit. I could see like a 14-point win, 10-point win. But back to the point, though. I mean, that's the biggest concern. Do I think they will win the Pac-12? I mean, I'm holding strong, but there's not a lot of not a lot of confidence in that pick anymore, like I had, in week 4 and 5. Even after they beat Oregon, there was a part of me that was like, oh yeah, this team's winning it all. It's over. This team's got it. Penn
Have some concerns now.
Slightly. This defense is really bad, and they've had really bad days for the past few weeks. It's not just like a one-off. This week with Utah, with a Utah offense that hasn't done much this season. They played a lot better with Barnes, but it's like consistent. There's multiple games now in a row where the defense has gotten exposed. Arizona had their way. Yeah. Arizona State had their way. And I'm interested. So can they turn that around? If they do, I mean, I'm not even asking for a great defense or even a good defense. I'm talking mediocre. I'm talking okay defense, allow about 350 instead of, 400 to 3 whatever you said it was.
386. Yeah.
Give me 325, not even that. Like give me 350 and maybe we'll be talking, So I'm intrigued. I'm still holding strong on him though. CDM, what are your thoughts on Washington?
I mean, you kind of took the words right out. You put the nail in the coffin for me. It's just this defense is the biggest concern. As you said, you can score. I mean, they outscore anybody else in the country. But can they get the stop when they absolutely need it? When they need a crunch time, it's in crunch time moment, and they need a stop. Can they get it? The defense is the biggest concern for me. And I'm telling you, when they play Oregon again, because they are going to play Oregon again, when they play, it's going to be a different game. Oregon is going to win because Oregon is going to expose the defense. I mean, Bo Nix right now is playing on a different level. Michael Penix and him are both right there with each other. But this defense is not going to be able to contain a Georgia offense. It's not going to be able – like I'm telling you, Marvin Harrison Jr. plays against Washington on Saturday. It's a fest, dude. Eating if Marvin Harrison Jr. would do to the secondary. It's insane. Once again, offense is playing good. Michael Penix is still playing at a Heisman level. It's the defense needs to figure out what needs to be done. I don't know what adjustments need to be done. I don't know what personnel you need to have out there to make this defense look legit to the rest of the country. But right now, you're just an offensive powerhouse to me. Yes, and I love offense. Don't get me wrong. This team deserves to be undefeated, deserves to be in the top 5. But if they are to make a legit shot, they need to up this defensive play. This defensive play is not good. I mean, 386, giving up close to 200 yards rushing a game. I mean, that's not good at all. That's terrible.
No.
And so, I mean, that's all I really had to say is that was all I really wanted to talk about is the defense. It's a big flight risk for everybody on this team because it's like that's the group that's going to make or break your season. I don't even worry about the offense. I would love to talk about the offense, but there's really not much to talk about because they're just that good. You have that guy. You have the guy in Michael Penix that just wraps that whole offense together. The defense is just the biggest concern.
Oh.
It's the scariest thing.
Flag.
Yes.
Field goal range. Oh, my God. The Broncos are going to beat the Bills, bro.
Shut up, dude. No, Will Lutz could totally miss this. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I think it's going to touch here, bro.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy got him off the bat, too.
Yeah, if Russ hits him in stride, that's a touch.
Oh, dude. Oh, if he just hits him in stride, it's done. It's a game.
It's a horrible pass, but you'll take the flag.
Dude, his passing yardage this game has been like 3.4 yards a pass. Been atrocious. But back to what I was saying, they need to figure out the defense if they're going to be a legit chance, if they're going to have a legit chance to beat Oregon again and to be in the playoffs. Because the teams in the playoffs right now all have defenses. They all have their squads on offense and defense. They're all motoring on the same level with each other. But Washington needs to figure out how to be balanced on both sides of the ball. And if they don't figure it out, it's not going to be pretty when they have to play an Oregon team or they have to go into a playoff game and just get boat raced by another team.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested. This team is one of the most, unpredictable squads. If they could just turn it around defense, they could really make a run at this thing. So we'll see. Can the Huskies find some defense as that offense keeps on humming? All right, CDM. How about we keep on rolling to that other Big Ten team that just keeps on winning? They keep on beating down opponents as they beat down on the Spartans. That team, rough without Mel Tucker. And he got caught up in some stuff we ain't going to talk about. We'll see what happens on that end. But, man, there's really one question, CDM. Ohio State wins, whatever. The real question is, it's right here on the ticker right here. No, on the lower thirds.
Yeah, we don't even really need to talk about Ohio State. We can just talk about this guy. I'm totally fine with it.
Is Marvin Harrison Jr. the most talented college football player that we have ever seen? I'm just talking us. Obviously there's players in the 40s that these old heads are going to be like, most talented player I've ever seen. That was the most talented player I've ever seen. CDM. I'm not asking best. I'm not asking, the numbers, the Heismans. I'm not asking that. I'm saying eye test, production. Is this the most talented player that we have ever seen in college football?
Man, let's see. We've seen a lot. We've seen Percy Harvin. We've seen Percy Harvin. We've seen Kyle Pitts do what he had to do. We've seen Lamar Jackson do what he had to do. Devontae Smith, Johnny Manziel. I mean, Devontae Smith to what he did his Heisman year. We've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, but in recent history, I never got to really see Calvin Johnson play. I was like 4 years old when he got drafted. But this guy right here, Marvin Harrison Jr., is the best athlete that I've seen play the game of football. And at wide receiver, I will say at wide receiver, he is the most talented player in the country. Brock is right behind him because Brock Bowers, once again, you put him in that conversation with being one of the most, if not most talented player in college football.
Yep.
Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. are there, but MHJ, dude, amazing. Absolutely. You don't even have to look at his name. His name's not even relevant. Just a second, dude. Just a second.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go down to 15, 14, 13. I might be behind 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. He missed it. Did he miss it? Oh my God. He missed it.
There's a flag.
Oh my God, there's a flag.
There's a flag.
Was it did he jump over the line?
Yes.
It's leverage?
Yes.
Too many men on the field. Oh, dude, the Bills are giving them this game. Oh my gosh. 12 men on the field, bro.
Podcast, I'm so sorry, dog. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. They're counting them. That's clearly 12, bro. And the guy in the back.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. They gave Will Lutz a second shot at this. Try your best not to react. You're a little ahead of me. 4 seconds left on the game clock. Will the Broncos get the 6th game-winning field goal kick of this week? Money.
Let's go. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Let's freaking ride.
Bill suck. Josh Allen's overrated. Bill suck. Josh Allen's overrated. Fins up, baby. Dolphins are the best in the AFC East. That's exactly what I just did. What are we talking about? Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes. Absolute unit. Absolute stud. He is in the Heisman conversation right now. And I've been getting arguments with people on Twitter saying that Malik Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Season-wise.
Those are stupid people.
Yeah, well, they're LSU fans, Nate, but at least you're a humbled one.
Stupid ass.
Season-wise, he is having a better season than Marvin Harrison Jr. Career-wise, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a freak of nature. So do you think – okay, so C.J. Stroud's pro day last year, right? Okay, remember that? All 32 teams are there, right? Okay, they're all salivating. They're all drooling over what they're seeing out of C.J. Stroud. Then they see who he's throwing the ball to, and he's not throwing to these guys that the NFL scouts bring with. No, he's throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. And do you think they were looking at C.J. Stroud? Absolutely, they were. But where do you think their eyes were mostly at for this last year? They were looking at the man that they are looking to draft at the 2nd overall pick. They're looking at the man catching the ball from C.J. Stroud, and that was Marvin Harrison. I mean, half the people at the combine. I mean, he was only a junior. I mean, he was only a sophomore last year. He couldn't get drafted. But I mean, you come out during the pro day and you just throw and you just run routes in front of all these people. I mean, all these scouts and all these coaches. You're getting looked at already, man. C.J. Stroud, yes, helped his production last year. But, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., he has all the measurables to be a freak of nature. He has the wingspan. He has the height, the weight, the hands, the route. I mean, he is dominant at the position right now. It's insane. I mean, he may not be having the season that everybody thought he was going to have. But if you look at what he did last game against Michigan State, oh, my God, dude. He is unbelievably talented. I'm talking about that. I think it was the first or second touchdown pass. Kyle McCord threw a beautiful ball. Okay, hit him right here, and Marvin Harrison just toe tap. One toe inbounds, touchdown. Rushing touchdown. He had 4 touchdowns on the day, or 3 touchdowns on the day. He is an absolute unit. So, yes, I do think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player, is the most talented player in college football, and vice versa with Jaden Daniels. Without Marvin Harrison Jr. on this Ohio State team, I don't really think they're competitive. I mean, I feel like that's a factual thing that I'm saying right now, that if he is not on that team, then Ohio State probably isn't a big threat to what most people think they are right now. Because Marvin Harrison Jr. changes the whole narrative. He's kind of like a Tyreek Hill, but in college. He makes you change your whole defensive scheme because they move him around the field so much. They don't really put him in the backfield. They don't really put him down tight, but they put him in the slot. They move him to the outside. They'll move him around just to confuse your defense. So, yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player or the most talented player in college football right now. Brock Bowers right behind him.
Man, he is ridiculous, bro.
It's insane.
He is so freaking good at football. The stats that he put up this week, I mean, they're insane. 7 catches, 149, 3 tuds. I mean, that just speaks for itself. But, I mean, is he the most talented player I've ever seen? I mean, skill player-wise, without a doubt, in my opinion. Like, I didn't get to see Calvin Johnson play. You know, I didn't get to see, some of these other players in the past get to play in college. So,
like Larry Fitzgerald, never got to see him play, but look how he turned out.
I didn't get to see some of these guys that dominated in college. Obviously the best receivers I've seen, you could throw in, the Devontae Smiths, the the Jamar Chases, the Justin Jeffersons, the Odell Beckhams, those are just easy ones to name off when it comes to LSU Alabama teams. And there's so many amazing receivers that we have seen, and running backs and tight ends, and quarterbacks. That's where I come to this crossroad. Most talented player. I got to be honest. If we're going talent-wise, in college, specifically college, there's only one person I think that you can put ahead of him. I got to go Cam Newton, bro.
Oh,
Cam Newton
that's a good one.
Unfreaking real in college,
That's
bro.
a good one. That's a good one.
He was unfreaking real, and that's the only player. Joe Burrow had probably the best season of all time.
How about Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck had some of the best seasons, but he never won a Heisman. He got beat up by RG3. Lamar Jackson gave us some of the craziest moments of our life, in college football. Johnny Manziel took the world by storm. Cam Newton was Superman. What he did to the LSU Tigers that season, what the comeback he made against Alabama, the
national championship that he won against Oregon.
Champion, he was special. He was so freaking special. And then he also had one of the greatest NFL MVP seasons I've ever seen in my life, too.
Oh, dude, I remember that. I remember that, dude. That season, I've never seen a team more hated in my life than the Carolina Panthers that season.
No one liked that team, bro. No one did. And I'm a Saints fan. That's my division. And there was a weird soft spot for Cam Newton. And, that's the only player I can, put in front of Marvin Harrison Jr. when it comes to most talented college football players my eyes have ever seen. So,
if we're going off of that, then mine would probably have to be like Percy Harvin, dude. That dude was electric.
Oh,
bro.
what about Tavon Austin? He was special.
See, I would also say that as well. Once again, if you look up college football highlight reels, it's just going to pull up. Tavon Austin's is the first pull up, but oh my God, dude, it's like the best highlight tape to ever watch.
Yeah, that was
a fun.
Meme. There's a meme out there of this couple is like, all right, I watched your movie, now you got to watch mine, and the guy turns on Tavon Austin. It's like, that's it. That's
a movie. That's an actual. That should be a Netflix documentary.
It's probably like a 30-minute movie, bro, of just
30
highlights.
for 30.
Hey, you take it, but that's how I'm feeling. Dope. Another thing to take away from Marvin Harrison Jr. Freaking real talent. He is so dang good, and he will be the second player probably off the board just because of who drafts there. And man. Can't wait to see what he can do in the NFL.
Man, I can't wait to see him and Caleb Williams play for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey,
I'm still holding on that the Carolina Panthers somehow trade back up to get their second overall pick back and to get Marvin Harrison Jr. for Bryce Young.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, hey, let's talk about a team that is just unfreaking real and just keeps on smacking teams. And we're not talking beatdowns. We're talking smacking teams.
Talking about first-degree murder.
This is legitimate murder. You could be tried and charged for what they did to Ole Miss this weekend.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
The Bulldogs.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Smack the Rebels. And the one question comes that you have been saying since day one, CDM, are they the best team in the country?
Sometimes I hate repeating myself, but I'm just going to do it again. They are and still will be the best team in the country.
Hey, you cut out there. Could you say it one more time?
Last time I checked, they won 1 and 2. They won 2 back-to-back national championships. How are they not considered the number 1 team in the nation? They literally
good question.
Broke Nick. They literally broke Lane Kiffin. They broke him. They broke everybody on that Ole Miss team. They broke them. That defense didn't stand a chance, first off. I thought the offense would at least put up more than 17 points. But guess what? When you're playing against the best team in the country, There's not much else that needs to be said. Georgia is the best team. Georgia has done everything. Yes, they have done everything right, but also they have not done almost everything wrong to lose the spot. I mean, yes, they haven't looked perfect. Yes, they struggled against a South Carolina team. They went toe-to-toe with Mizzou, went toe-to-toe with them. Yes. Other teams have surprised Georgia a little bit this season, but guess who always ends up coming out on top? The Georgia two-time defending champ Bulldogs. They are the number one team. Until I see them have a 1 in their record, then they're still number one. No disrespect to Ohio State, but if I have Ohio State and Georgia playing Saturday, obviously I'm taking Georgia because Carson Beck right now is playing at an elite level. They got Brock back Saturday. Didn't know he played. Didn't know he was back, but guess what? He was already playing. So that's another great offensive piece to have back on that offense. Then you got Ladd McConkey out here breaking ankles on routes.
Fair. Yes.
Dude's the Georgia version of Cooper Kupp. I mean, dude's awesome. Dude's insane. But no, Georgia is the number one team. They are dominating. They keep on winning. They haven't lost a home game since 2019. That shows you anything. So I don't think anybody's going to come into Athens, Georgia, and say, "Hey, we're going to take you down." Auburn almost did it. Auburn probably should have won that game, but it wasn't at home. It was at Auburn. So Auburn was one of those teams that took them to the distance. But no, man. I mean, Ole Miss didn't really have a chance. That defense was terrible. We've all seen it happen. We've seen how crappy that defense can be time to time. And I mean, the offense just got blown out because that Georgia defense is so good. Until they have to play a legit team.
Yep.
Decent in Atlanta.
Oh.
When they have to play a legit opponent.
No, the Volunteers ain't gonna be.
Well, no, dude, that's just gonna no. Georgia's done nothing wrong. I don't really know what else I could say about it besides they are the number one team in the nation. No disrespect to Ohio State, okay? They have the resume. They have it all. But Georgia is two-time defending national champs. I never saw Alabama get booted down from number one after winning a national championship the year prior. I never saw that. So it's really weird to me to see a two-time defending national champion in Georgia and Kirby Smart get dunked down from number one. I mean, I've never seen that happen. I never saw it during Alabama. I never seen it during LSU when they were a dominant force. Never saw it with Florida. So why is it fair to do it to Georgia right now when they are just winning? They're getting the Alabama treatment that I always say that everybody knows what they're getting because they win. No one likes when people win, especially good teams. No one likes when Bama won, and that's why they got the Alabama treatment. That's why everybody hates us. But now that Georgia's getting that same type of treatment. And we just have to see what they do with that. I don't know if they use it. I don't know if they're going to use it as rat poison. I don't know if they're just going to use it as a confidence boost, but Georgia has done everything right to earn that number one spot. Do I want to see a three-peat? Absolutely not. I don't. But I have to give respect where respect is due.
Hey, man. I gotta turn to the dark side, bro. I think you're right. I think you are right that they are the best team in the country. What they did to the Rebels was absolutely mind-boggling. Yes, Dart goes out, blah, blah, blah. It was over before then. Sorry, y'all. This team is so talented, and it feels like they play their best in the biggest games. That is their biggest strength, it feels like. Yeah, there's going to be a couple games where, like, oh, they're bad. They're falling off. They're not the same team they once were. But they always show up for the big ones. They've done it consistently. They did it against Missouri. They did it against Ole Miss, obviously. They show up in the big ones, and they're going to be ready for those kinds of games. Yeah, they're going to slip up. Every team slips up, but they haven't done it in a long time when it comes to losing a football game. And I said it, I'm not going to pick against them, but I was still holding on hope that Michigan is a better team. Man, Georgia's done nothing to say that they aren't. And, yeah, you can say the resume of Ohio State's the best and Michigan might look the best. Whatever. I'm sorry. What I saw this weekend is the best team in the country with a really, really good quarterback as well, which I think that would kind of lead us into ACDM.
Well, I got a game that caught my eye real fast. Can I get this out real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
The game that caught my eye, Arizona versus Colorado. Arizona dogs, dude. Absolute dogs. They are the best team, the best 3-loss team in the country right now. They are good. To go into Boulder, Colorado, and beat primetime. The last home game of the season. Send those seniors packing, crying. No disrespect to primetime, love them, but I mean, they have fallen off. Arizona is on the come up to do something special. Noah, what's his name? Noah Fiete? Fieta? Fafita? Yeah, Noah Fafita, the true freshman. Dog. Absolute fire. I mean, that was the game that caught my eye. I didn't really have much to say about it. I watched the highlights. And Arizona, dude, they have a defense. They really do have a defense. They only should have like 2 losses. They should have beat USC in that overtime thriller. They really should have. They should not have 3 losses, but it happens. They probably shouldn't even lost to Washington. They should have beat Washington too. But this team is gritty. This team is nice, and I really like them. But going into the top Heisman watch.
Hang on. Let me get my game out of the way.
Oh, sorry.
I jumped the gun. That was on me.
Sorry. And now I'm jumping guns. Sorry.
Hey, it's all good. Oh, Jesus. One game that caught my eye. I just choked on my own spit. That was fun. The game.
Good God, are you dying? Good God.
I've composed myself.
You're crying.
Not anymore. All right. The game that caught my eye. I'm going to be a little bit of a homer here.
Oh, okay. I respect this.
This is only because of the single-handed performance from the man himself.
Pure dominance.
JD5, Jaden Daniels, came out and said, hey, I'm still in this Heisman candidacy. And man, oh man, did he perform at the highest level. 17 to 26, 372, 3 tuds, 14 yards a pass, 0 interceptions, as well as 12 carries for 234 rushing yards, 20 yards a carry for 2 touchdowns. I mean, this is insanity to watch.
600 total yards by a single player.
It's insane, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen a performance like that in college football. And Jaden Daniels putting himself in one of the we're talking about most talented. He is putting himself in that conversation when it comes to just unreal talent. We've seen it. We talked about it here in the pod. Like, we saw it at Arizona State. I don't know if we ever could have predicted this by any means.
Did not at all.
But we knew that he could be good. And, man, he is a legend at this point.
Oh, dude, this was a total shocker, bro. Because as you just said, bro, we watched him as a true freshman at Arizona State carving up Oregon's defense.
Yep.
And now for him to come to LSU and just do this back-to-back years, it's absolutely insane. Absolute star-studded talent. Solidified, and you cannot joke me on this, solidified first-round pick.
I mean,
solidified.
Come on, right? It has to be, right?
He's got to be a not first overall, first-round pick. He's got to be.
He's unreal, man. And I didn't want to take too much time on that because there are some amazing players that deserve their conversation and teams that deserve their conversations. But when it comes to our top 6 teams and stuff, I just wanted to give him his highlight on this pod because, man, that performance cannot be, overshadowed or not talked about. He went insane mode. Like you said, 600 total yards from Jaden Daniels. What a performance. He's right back in that Heisman conversation. Let's get into that Heisman conversation, as well as our top 6 teams and our playoff prediction. CDM, how about you start us off for your top 6 teams this week?
Top 6 teams. Okay, I'm going to start from 6 to 1, like always.
Hey,
number
wait,
6.
I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna drop it right here.
Oh yeah, drop it right here for me, real fast, on our new little bar that we have.
Boom.
So as you see right here, I have Oregon at number 6. Washington at number 5, Florida State at number 4, Michigan at number 3, Ohio State at number 2, and the 2-time defending national champions at number 1, the Georgia Bulldogs. I think it's very fair, Oregon and Washington being there. I think sooner or later that Oregon will jump Washington because Oregon has been more dominant than Washington has been at this moment. Mm-hmm. Florida State doing what they need to do to win games, getting by, going to win that conference no matter what. And then Michigan and Ohio State, doing what they have to do. And then Georgia dominating at every point of the game. Without Marvin Harrison. Well, if Marvin Harrison was an Ohio State's probably not a top 2 team, honestly.
Fair.
And then Michigan, they finally got their first big win. Now, yeah, that's all I got to say. They just got their first big win.
Now.
Yeah. Now it's time to can you actually beat a very good team going in to that Ohio State game in 2 weeks? We will find out. But that is my top 6 teams.
Hey, I like your top 6 teams, and you have swayed my opinion in a slight way. Let's take a look.
Put them at 1, baby. It's okay. Ain't nobody going to judge you because you know what? You're right.
I've changed
You're right.
my ways.
Absolutely.
Yep. I've changed my ways. Number 6, Oregon. They're sticking around for me there. Washington, number 5.
It's okay. Bama
until that Pac-12 champ. Hey, that's true. That is true. Number 4, like you said, Florida State. Done nothing wrong. Ohio State at 3. Michigan at 2 now. And the Georgia Bulldogs at number 1.
Say it with me, Nathan. The 2-time defending natty champs.
The 2-time undefeated 27 straight wins. Fact check me on that.
No, that's facts.
Bulldogs. I thought it was. I was just pulling that one.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, they have 27 wins.
Insane. This team's unreal. And like you said, I mean, they haven't done anything to prove that they're not number 1. I just had this weird feeling that Michigan was going to dominate this season. And I had Ohio State coming into the season. Then I went to Michigan. And now I'm back right where it all started at Georgia. This team is ridiculous, and Carson Beck is playing at an elite level of football, and that has changed this team. I said it a couple weeks ago, even though Brock's already back, that, maybe this losing Brock is good, for Carson Beck to maybe find some new guys and find a new tempo in this offense as well as finding a run game. Hey, this offense was fine before and after Brock, and they're just so much better with him. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This team is ridiculously talented, and I'm big on the eye test, and they looked better than Michigan this week against both had top 10 opponents. And Georgia curb stomped Ole Miss. Michigan did what they had to do to get the dub, and that's a difference.
Don't say curb stomp. They did not.
They did not. So, Georgia, you've earned my respect. The Bulldogs at number 1. All right, CDM, let's get into these Heisman watches. These names are long, so we're only going to show our 3. So, CDM, give me your 4 and 5, and then I'm going to show your 3, 2, and 1.
So at 5, I have Carson Beck. Carson Beck's been playing some good ball lately. Been playing at an elite level, getting the Georgia Bulldogs to where they need to be back, going to try and get that 3rd repeat going on. At number 4, I have the man, the myth, the legend, who puts up 600 yards by himself because he's an absolute unit. I have JD5. I know at 4, I know 4 is low. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from that. I understand that. It's just the 3 losses it's 3 losses. We've seen people with 3 losses, Lamar Jackson, Tim Tebow, RG3. We've seen other players do it. It's just the 3 losses that he's had are they're not pretty. First at the beginning of the season, lose to Florida State. Florida State is ranked number 4 right now. The Ole Miss game, that was just a terrible, terrible game on the defensive side of the ball for LSU because Jaden Daniels had to do it all that game. And then losing to BAMA, the biggest game of the season so far for LSU, and Jaden Daniels gets out in that game. But those are my 2. Those are my 4, my 5, and my 4. And now go ahead and show my 1, 2, and 3.
There you
and
are.
Here we have it right here, ladies and gentlemen. At number 1, I have the man, the myth, the legend. No more of a Bo Picks. It is Bo, the man, the Nix. Bo Nix at number 1. Michael Penix Jr. at number 2. And Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 3, who easily could climb that board and make it to number 1, which I have him. Me and Nathan had him at the beginning of the season winning the Heisman, and right now dreams are looking very, very soon to come true. If it happens, I'm going to be amazed. But Bo Nix at number 1, just because he is balling. 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 75% completion percentage. Dog. You can't tell me. First off, where was this at Auburn? Obviously, Auburn didn't like him enough to surround him with talent or a defense. So Bo Nix at number 1 just because he's what he's been doing. Michael Penix at number 2. Still been balling, playing at a Heisman level. Has looked to struggle a little bit just because Washington has struggled a little bit in these past couple of games. And then the freak of nature, Marvin Harrison Jr. himself, man. The man who just makes you want to change your whole defensive scheme the day you get to the stadium.
Oh.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But those are my top 3 right there.
Hey, I hear that, brother, and I respect that a lot. I hear where you're coming from on your Heisman picks. For me, I'll start at number 5. I'm going to join you on this Carson Beck hype train. He truly, quietly, with some bad games in the front end of these players, he might climb himself into this top 3 rankings. He has played great football all season, quietly great football. He has earned himself a top 5 ranking in my Heisman watch. Number 4, the best player in the country. He keeps doing it, and now he's starting to put the numbers to, the talent, and that is Marvin Harrison Jr. Unfreaking real. I mean, there's not much more to say. We've already talked about the guy. He deserves it. Number 4 for Marvin Harrison Jr. Now let me show you here my top 3 Heisman watch, and yes, I have done it. I have really probably
can't agree. I mean, you can't disagree with it.
Hey, you can't to a certain degree. Number 1, I have Jaden Daniels. He is the most impactful player in the country simply because LSU doesn't have as great of a team as Oregon when it comes to a defensive unit. And Washington is a similar-ish situation, but at least their defense is, not the worst. They're not number 90 or 106. They're 90 whatever. So they're not great, but it's a similar situation where Jaden Daniels is putting up way better numbers than Michael Penix Jr. and looking better while doing it. Bo Nix, I mean, you said it all. This guy, he's probably going to win the award because he's been just unfreaking real recently.
So, if Bo Nix wins the Heisman, do we say that he's better than Justin Herbert was at Oregon? And that's a legit argument. That's a legit argument that you can make. If Bo Nix wins the Heisman, did he have a better college career than Justin Herbert?
I think you can make the case, man. I really do.
You can make the case because then, I mean, if you look at it, man, it's funny that Bo Nix did beat Justin Herbert his first start.
He did
as an Auburn Auburn player, and then he transfers to Oregon and now possibly wins the award for Oregon, something that Justin Herbert couldn't do.
Full circle, bro. Full freaking circle, man.
Full circle.
Hey, and then last but not least, Michael Penix Jr. He had some misses in this game that really stung me the wrong way. He still made amazing plays when it was needed, but he had a lot of misses. Yeah, it was 30-mile-per-hour wind, so I get it. And you're trying to slice that ball through the air, and you're just going to kind of overthrow a lot, but he overthrew a lot. And he just didn't have the Heisman performance he needed to have against Utah, even though they got the win strictly because of his arm once again. But, yep, that is my Heisman watch once again. College Kings Heisman watch. All right, CDM, let's get this thing rolling and get out of here with our game picks after we do our updated college football playoff predictions. CDM, I'm about to lay yours out on the screen. Talk me through it. What you got here? What's the thought process here?
At number 1, I have Ohio State, just because Bama is going to beat Georgia in the SEC championship and give them the first loss. But before anybody jumps into conclusions, Florida State at number 2 because they will go undefeated and they will win the ACC. Nobody in that division is going to even think about competing with them. So they win the ACC. Now we get into the nitty-gritty part because a lot of things need to happen for this to happen. But as I said before, nobody is going to pay money to not go and watch a college football playoff game without the SEC. It's the SEC. You have to have them in. What better than having not 1, but 2? I know, right? It's crazy. 2 of them. And Georgia being at number 4 is not bad. We get a number 1 Ohio State, a rematch from last year's playoffs against a number 4 Georgia Bulldogs. That would be fun. That'd be exciting. That's got game of the year written all over it again. And then you have Florida State versus Bama. Wax. Done.
Oh, wow. Confidence.
Done. Anybody else? I mean, okay, I'm getting off track. But I think that Bama and Georgia both make the playoffs. I think if Texas loses a game, they're out. Washington is going to lose to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. But this is the biggest thing that you have to look forward to is Michigan with a one-loss. Michigan has a one loss. Okay, that's bad. Okay. Then you have Texas, who has a one loss right now. You have Washington, who would have a one loss. You have an Oregon that would have a one loss. You have to make a toss-up. You have to make a toss-up of who you want to be. So if we're going off of strength of schedule, you have Alabama, who has beaten the number 17th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. You have them beating the number 14th ranked Ole Miss Rebels at home. So, but at home against Tennessee, dub. At home against Ole Miss, dub. And then you have us beating LSU at home pretty convincingly. Pretty convincingly, in my opinion. Two possessions is very big. That's a dub. Okay? We have the resume to do it. Georgia having a one loss. You have to put Georgia in if they lose this game. You have to.
Yep.
If Georgia loses this game, not by a lot, but convincingly loses this game, and Bama convincingly wins this game, I know I'm going to piss off a lot of Texas fans. I don't really care, dude. Texas is not good enough to make the playoffs because you know why? They would get the shit beat out of them.
No Jonathon Brooks either now.
Oh, yeah, dude. They would get smoked. They would get they would get curve stomped. Bama to me, besides Washington and Oregon, seems one of the only good fits that you put in the playoffs. And if Georgia and Bama both have one loss, you got to put both of them in. So that's the reason I have both of them in there. It's also part of me being a homer, but it's also part of me and everybody else conceding in the country. Bama is the scariest team to play right now. Mm-hmm. Is the scariest one-loss team to play. Besides Oregon, in my opinion, Bama is the scariest team to play. They are putting up points. Their offense is clicking. The defense is clicking. Everything around this team is looking good. So, in my opinion, if you have a one-loss Georgia and a one-loss Alabama and Bama wins the SEC, you got to put both of them in. No disrespect, the committee is going to go crazy when they have to determine. But Kirk Herbstreit came out and said, if Bama wins the SEC and Texas wins the Big 12, they're going to put Texas in over Bama. I just don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. First off, I don't see you booting Nick Saban out 2 years in a row. I don't see you booting Nick Saban out.
It's tough, man.
That's tough. I mean, it's tough. And if it happens, it happens. But the way that this team is playing, the way that both teams are playing right now, I think Bama and Georgia are two of the best teams in college football right now. They run the conferences right now. They both the defending champs on both sides at the moment. But that's the reason. That's who I have. It may not make a lot of sense to people, but it makes sense to me of why you would put both of them in, depending if you're looking at resumes and strength of schedule. Michigan, I don't really think you would put Michigan in because the only big win they have at the moment is Penn State. Mm-hmm. And if they lose to Ohio State and Ohio State goes undefeated, you're done. You're dead. Like you can't – there's no way. Dave Portnoy can suck my big toe. The president of Barstool Sports can suck my big toe, first off, because he defends these bums. Okay, you're a bum on your own. And then you don't beat Ohio State. So, I mean, you can't be in if you do that and your only big win is against Penn State. And then Florida State, they're just going to run to the ACC. It's just going to be done with. Yeah. But those are my teams. Hey. How about you, Nate? Let me see yours because I'm very intrigued to see who you have.
This is what we're working with right here. I am going a full undefeated college football playoff. I think that's
never happened.
It has never happened, and I do believe it will happen. I want to join in the chaos. I really, really do. But the chaos leads only way the chaos in college football, in the college football playoff, it all runs back to Alabama beating Georgia. And first things first, do I think it's possible? 110%. We might see a situation where whoever wins, you're going to look at that game and say, out of 10 times, it's 5 for 5,
Yeah, it's split down the middle.
I would not be surprised if that's how that game kind of turns out, just because of how good Alabama's playing, and it's Nick Saban. Like, come on, Nick Saban versus Kirby. Who doesn't want that? Like, that's awesome.
That's the rival. That's the new rivalry of college football.
100%. It's so amazing. It's always an amazing football game, and I'm intrigued to see Georgia with championship experience face Nick Saban because we have not seen that yet. Last time they played him, They weren't national champions, you know.
But they did become national champions later that night.
They did. They came. Yeah, they became champs.
But that team looks so. I mean, first off, it's the best defense in college football.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had it felt like a championship team. It felt like they were polished, and this Georgia team feels the same way. But this Bama team feels a little bit more different when it comes to playing this Georgia team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a little bit of half and half. Like as you said, it's down the middle.
Yep.
Any team can win this.
Whoever
any given
shows
Saturday.
Whoever shows up that day, you know, whoever shows up ready that day, and I want to join in the chaos, but there's just a part of me that believes Georgia is gonna find a freaking way late, and if Bama's got 2 losses, they're out. So that's where it all leads back to, because if they win, if Bama wins, we will see a situation, because I do think Texas might win they might win the Big 12. Like with Quinn back, they might win it. But like you said,
I don't know. They seemed to struggle against TCU last week.
It was an interesting one. I'm actually intrigued because Oklahoma State loses, right? Big time. Like, no, that shouldn't even be.
Oh, John Rice Plumlee carved them up.
Yeah. Hey, Mississippi boy representing. But I'm intrigued because right now we're almost back to the Texas versus Oklahoma rematch. And if Texas is able to avenge that loss, man, like that's insane to think about. That looks
But
so
if Oklahoma is able to do it again and knock them out,
that'd be so bad.
And if we win,
yeah, I think y'all are both in because they wouldn't put a 1-loss Oregon even if they wouldn't put a 1-loss Washington if Oregon won.
But see, like this is the biggest, like it's the biggest thing. Once again, I was gonna say, join the chaos, dude. It's kind of fun.
It's fun.
It's kind of fun.
Me and Nolan were talking about it on Sunday. Like, bro, if Bama wins, that's like they destroy everything. Like the college football.
Oh, it's over, dude. Like punch. Give me the punch here. I'll punch the ticket for them. Like it's done.
College football playoff committee will like literally be having aneurysms. Like, oh my god, we cannot put in Texas over these 2 teams, man.
No, you can't, dude. You cannot put Texas in over Alabama if we win the SEC.
That's such a bad loss for y'all, man. Jeez.
It really is, dude.
And it's not a bad loss in the sense like it's a bad team. It's a bad loss. Like that is the one team. I said it when I had this is the one team you cannot lose to, bro. God, it's such a tough loss for y'all.
Yeah, it is, and that's the game that's going to bite them in the ass when it comes to decision making, especially if we both win. If Bama and Texas both win their conferences, the committee, as you said, is just going to blow their brains out. They're not going to know what to do. It's going to be because I mean, it's either you piss off Alabama fans or you piss off the whole state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick your poison. I'm taking Texas. Pick them. Hook them down, baby.
Oh. Fighting words over there. Hey, whatever happens, I'm excited because we're right at the end of it, man. And we are getting so close to seeing the reality of this college football playoff coming into fruition. That'll do it for us when it comes to playoff predictions as well as our Heisman and the top 6 teams. All right, CDM. Let's address the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about your Alabama Crimson Tide. We have a 3-game lead still. In-game picks. CDM is the man still when it comes to who is the game picks leader at 41-24. I am sitting at 38-27. I went perfect last week, but CDM went 5-1. So it's tough to make this comeback when CDM is near perfect, when I'm perfect. So, hey, one game a week, I find a way to take this lead. So, I'm all good.
I'm just that good, dog. Hey. What you don't know is I am the man when it comes to picking these games. I know it. I am the man, and I am him. I am legend.
Very good. You are doing very good. So. Right, let's take a look.
I'm very shocked. I'm very, very shocked.
Hey, fair. Hey, don't hold that to. Hey, you're doing good, man. You're doing good.
Hey, man, there was at one point I was taking underdogs, and I was just like,
Yeah, I stopped taking those underdogs as much, too, when I got down pretty big. So,
yeah,
hey.
it all started when I picked against Georgia, and then I found out you never pick against Georgia.
Never, especially that team. Why would we pick that team? All right. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know why we would do that. Luckily, I was smart last week and didn't pick
smart
Ole
man.
Miss.
Smart man.
But getting into these game predictions.
Look at these game picks here. We got some massive, interesting games. They're games where, I mean, you get 3 pick'em games out of 6 here, with Louisville, Miami, Utah, Arizona, and Washington, Oregon State. All pick'ems pretty much at this point. Obviously, those might change. And then you got some games where some spreads are interesting. So we're going to start this one off, CDM, with Louisville traveling out there to Miami to face those Canes that their season is highlighted by one terrible moment. And they're not a horrible football team. They lost a bad game, man. But Louisville.
They screwed up big time.
Hey, man. What about Louisville, though, bro?
Dude, they are like I texted you this a couple days ago, bro. They are confusing as all get out, man. They are the most consistent, but also the most inconsistent team I've ever seen. Because they'll like find a way to just look terrible in the first half, go down, score a couple times, and still find a way to win the game. Like, they are confusing. They're an interesting team. They're a very interesting team.
How did they
lose?
Because,
they only have one loss. They're good. They're going to be in the top 10 after this week.
How did they lose to Pitt, bro? After beating Notre Dame.
You beat Notre Dame, and then you go and you lose to, 2-7 Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me at all. And then you go on and beat these other teams. Did they beat Clemson?
They haven't played. They haven't played yet. No, they don't play this season. Miami and Kentucky to finish the season.
Oh, dude, they're gonna beat Kentucky.
This team, they're interesting, man. Like you said,
they're very interesting.
They're the most
so hard.
confusing team.
It's a very. I was watching them play. I stuttered. I just had an aneurysm. Sorry, guys. I watched them play against Virginia, and at one point they were down a possession, and it was going into like the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, they're gonna find a way to let 2-7 or 3-7 Virginia beat them. And then lo and behold, they just flipped a switch and looked like a football team, and all of a sudden they won the game. So speaking of that, I'm taking Louisville in this game. I'm sticking with them. I like it. I like the weirdness they bring to this game. So I'm taking Louisville with 38-14.
All right, nice beatdown. Okay, you don't think it's a pick 'em at all? I understand.
No. I've learned my ways with Miami, and I think we both learned our ways with Miami.
Fair.
Never taking Miami again.
Hey, fair, very fair point. I can't hold that against you by any means, but I think we get a little bit of a better game. This is classic Miami, keep it close and blow it at the end type of a game. It feels like Louisville will play great game, I'm stuttering now. They will have a great game plan to counter whatever Miami's got. I believe that this Louisville team is very well coached, and the plumber has arrived. He has arrived. He's here to unclog any clogs he got over here. So, hey, Louisville gets the job done and wins 27-23. That is a 1-point spread, by the way. I said pick 'em, so that is pretty much a pick 'em. So
it pretty much is a pick me one, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's you're not making any money off of that game. So
nope.
Hey, let's go to a game that you could make a lot of money off of because this spread is insane.
ACC.
Hey, ACC matchup. Got the North Carolina Tar Heels facing off against those Clemson Tigers. Hey, are you buying stock, CDM, in those Clemson Tigers?
Honestly, you want to hear me?
Yeah.
I'm buying stock in this game.
Oh, okay.
I'm buying stock in this game. I'm buying the stock. Clemson Tigers are going to win this game. OT 45-42. Game-winning field goal.
Dang it, game of the year candidate. Is that what you're
Hey man, I may have laughed when he said buy stock in Clemson because I just thought it was a total joke because they look like absolute dog piss. But at the end of the day, I mean, they have been playing some decent ball. These couple of games, they look good.
They have.
And North Carolina always finds a way to just go into overtime and either win it or lose it. And I feel like they've been in the most overtime games this season compared to any other team.
Fair.
So I'm taking Clemson. I think Clemson can get it done 45-42 in overtime. I'm buying stock, and I'm going to be happy with it.
Hey, I hear you, bro. I understand where you're coming from, bro. Yeah, I mean, 2 back-to-back good wins for Clemson. It's hard not to kind of jump on this, this stock train that, Dabo has easily created all by himself. Yeah, I mean, he's awesome, right? Talking smack to kids on the radio and all that fun jazz. Yeah.
If you want to come coach over here, then come sign an application.
Dabo don't give him. Oh, damn.
Oh, dude. Dang it, Nathan.
I was doing so good.
We were both doing good. I didn't even say it.
No.
What's wrong with you?
I need to wash
your mouth out with soap now.
Yeah,
shame on you.
You're right.
You got to bleep that out now. So.
Yeah. But Dabo really does not give that. He does not.
Doesn't give a crap. There we go. How about that?
There you go. And but that's not enough for me. I think this is an amazing game if you're betting to take those Tar Heels and get the job done. This would be a perfect way to keep, Mac in that head coaching position for at least another year, because why not? And
he's old.
He's old. He's old. And
he's old as dirt.
They cannot win the games that they should win, and they win
like
the games.
The dirt outside right now, that's younger than Mac Brown is.
It's fair. He's a national championship coach.
I'm pretty sure he was around when Jesus walked the earth.
All right. Jeez. Jeez.
Man's old as dirt.
He's definitely old.
And but he's winning. Hey, he's winning.
He's going to get the job done. That old man.
He's winning. So
he's going to win on old man strength. Give me the Tar Heels in this one. Tar Heels 31-27. Great game. Great game.
Great game. Great game. Yep. Great game. But now, moving it over to the Big 12, we have the state of Kansas going at it. We got Kansas State at the Jayhawks, Kansas. It's going to be a good game. Kansas State just blew the brakes off a team last week, just killed them. Kansas with impressive wins this season, one of them being Oklahoma Sooners. There's a lot that goes into this game because, I feel like it's got Big 12 championship implications for Kansas State more on it than Kansas. Yep. Well, I don't know. I mean, Kansas could make the Big 12 championship if they play the cards right. Am I right or am I wrong?
Kansas is pretty much out of this thing, but Kansas State.
But Kansas State is still in it, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Kansas State, I mean, they have to win this game to really go back and defend their Big 12 title. Once again, I don't think a lot of people realize that Kansas State is the defending Big 12 champs. So give me the Kansas State Wildcats. I don't know if that's their name. I hope that's their name. Yeah, the Wildcats. Yeah. Give me them winning 31-21. I feel like they're going to get the job done. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a fun game. I don't feel like it's going to be what they did against Texas or what Kansas did against Oklahoma. I feel like it's going to go down to the nitty-gritty, but Kansas State ultimately runs away with it, 10 points.
Yeah, point spread exactly the same, and Victor is the same here. Kansas State is putting up points, so I think they put up points once again here. 8.5, give me that cover. I am going with the Kansas State Wildcats as well, 41-31. All right. Nice. Yes, sir.
Dear God, dude, you got them putting up some points.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, dude, they're putting up crazy points. 45, 42, 30, 45, 42, 27, 44, 21, 38, 41, 41, 30, 59. This team puts up points.
They should have beat Texas.
And they should have beat Texas. And if they did, they'd be number 1 in the Big 12 right now. So,
yeah.
One loss changed their entire season when they could have and should have won it if they played all 4 quarters instead of just in that third and a half quarter, and beyond. But, hey, I got the Wildcats. I like that team. I like the team a lot. All right, let's go to the Pac-12 for another pick-em matchup here. Love this game. I mean, this is, if you're first things first. If you're not a Utah or Arizona fan, I strongly suggest, if you're a college football fan, that you turn this game on, because this one feels like it's just going to be a good college football game. I'm not talking 50-50. I'm talking to just a good college football game, competitive at its core. CDM, I'll start us off with this one.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, like I said, 50. Hey, this is a pick'ems game. 45 is the over/under. Literally, you're not making any money on this game. Vegas does not believe, or it does believe, rather, I should say, that these teams are literally identical. Arizona's cooking right now. Arizona looks good. Utah looked really good last week. It's hard. It's really hard for me to not pick Utah after their offensive performance last week. But like you said early on, Arizona's got a defense. No one's saying it's the best, but they got a pretty good defense. So give me the Wildcats once again. Arizona Wildcats this time in the victory, 24-21, in an absolute fun football game.
I totally agree with you on that one. I'm taking Arizona, but I'm looking at this. Arizona's 3 losses.
Yeah.
First loss was Mississippi State,
Yep.
so that's pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sad.
Their losses are not fun.
Second loss against Washington. It's a good loss, honestly. 31-24. It's not bad. And then what should have been a dub, but ended up ultimately being a loss, was the overtime loss against USC. Yep. Other than that, this team has been balling. This team has been on fire. If you could subtract the Mississippi State and the USC loss, this team is a 1-loss team. Yep. This team is looking to make a push for a Pac-12 championship, probably.
Yes.
Ultimately, they cannot. Super sad to see that, because this team is super talented. This team will be ready for years to come. This team will be a legit threat in the Big 12 next season, when them and Utah both move to the Big 12.
Yes.
And Texas and Oklahoma will leave, so I honestly think that Utah and Arizona can both run that. But I'm taking Arizona. I like it a lot. I like their team. I like their quarterback. I like this team that they have. I like what they have going on for this team. So I'm taking Arizona with 35-28.
All right, 7
It's really sad they lost to Mississippi State. I forgot they played them. That is so sad.
Totally forgot about that game.
Man, that is just that's a bad loss. That's a very bad loss.
They're beating good teams too. Besides that, so hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey, good job.
But moving on, we are going into the SEC. Another wild game, a weird 10-point spread, which I do not think it is even going to be close to being a 10-point spread. That is honestly blasphemous to Georgia. But we also have a team that's coming off a very devastating loss in Tennessee when they just got, their cheeks clapped by Mizzou. So I'll start this one off. Georgia going in to Neyland, Tennessee, to take on the Volunteers. And guess what it's going to be? It's just going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. I've learned from my mistakes of not picking Georgia. So I'm taking the 2-time defending champ Georgia Bulldogs to beat Tennessee Volunteers with a score of 55-24.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be murder. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I respect your boldness here. By the way, Slippery Rock's playing this weekend in Division. I saw the name. I had to point it out. That's a hell of a name.
Are they playing Vanderbilt?
No. This is the FCS playoffs, bro.
Oh my God! Is North Dakota?
Oh, Division 2, my fault. Division 2.
North Dakota in it?
Let's see. I don't.
Is South Dakota in it?
Western. I was about to say they're usually always in it, right? Grand Valley State.
Sooner or later, Southern Miss will be able to play in that championship game.
I guess you're right. Jeez. God, Alabama gets a cakewalk game. Gee. Division 2 bombs, bro. All right, ESPN's tripping out. I don't know what that is. FCS, it's saying I don't know. All right, now it's tripping out. Yeah, man. We're on the Tennessee game, right?
Yep.
Tennessee versus Georgia. I mean, this is obvious. Obviously, the Volunteers. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a joke of a game.
I feel like
you said-
Gabe would agree. I feel like Gabe would agree as well, saying
Yes.
that, Tennessee will give them a little run, but at the end of the day, Georgia's just gonna skull
I
drag
bet
them.
I just have a feeling it's gonna be very similar to the Ole Miss game. Early on, you're like, "Hey, Ole Miss, look at the offense going, hey," and then Georgia's gonna lock in, adjust.
Georgia's gonna lay the smack on them,
Yeah.
bro.
Tennessee might even score first, like Vandy did. Give some hope. 7-0. Like, hey, we might have a game, and then it'll
Maybe
just
a
be
pick
massive.
six.
Hey, maybe, and then everything will go downhill from there. Give me the Bulldogs in another massive victory on my only real massive victory this weekend. We got really good games, so 41-13, the Bulldogs. They're gonna keep on rolling. All right.
And now, the game that is just so confusing because
Hey, wait, just for fun. I didn't put it in here because it's just game day, and I didn't realize it was going to be game day. Who you got? App State, James Madison.
James Madison,
Me too. All right, let's get into this last one.
Washington, going to Oregon State, actually going in as an underdog, a 1-point underdog.
Ridiculous.
Makes no sense. How's the number 5 team in the nation an underdog?
ESPN actually just bumped it up to 2 for Oregon State. So it's no longer a pick'em game, bro. What in the
Let's
world?
make. I mean, no matter what, dude. I'll just start it off right now. Washington's taking the dub.
Yeah.
Washington's going to win this game. It may not be the prettiest game that they've played, just like the majority of them after this Oregon game, but they are going to get the job done. They will stay undefeated, and they will still go to a Pac-12 championship game. Washington, I don't think any defense in the Pac-12 besides Oregon's defense is going to be able to compete or shut down this Washington offense. I don't really think any other defense can. It's unbelievable what this offense is capable of doing with all 3 wide receivers when they're all 3 healthy, and you have Michael Penix throwing the ball, and then you have Johnson in the backfield racking up 200 yards to 150 yards a carry.
He's so good.
This
running back.
offense is unbelievable. I mean, it's insane. So I'm going to take Washington. I'm going to take Washington win 45-31.
45.
I still think it can be a game. But I feel like Washington's just going to run away with it.
Yeah. Oregon State's so interesting to me because they'll have games where it's like, oh, this defense is great. And then last week, 63 points. What the heck? They got an elite running game. That can they control the clock is the real question. That's the one thing I am interested in this game. Can they control the clock and keep Washington off the field? That's a big ask. Can they stop them on defense too? So
Yeah.
I don't believe that's the case, even though I do like Oregon State's team and performance from last week, even though it was against Stanford, 63 points. I'm on Washington. I'm not jumping off this ship until proven otherwise. They're still undefeated, baby. Give me the Huskies in this wild pick game. I mean, come on. You're not making much
1
money anyways off of this one in the first place, too. It's still pretty much a pick 'em, but, dude, come on. That's stupid.
Let's be realistic.
Give me-
Let's be smart here
Come
and
on.
think like we're really going to put Washington as an underdog.
Yeah, make
I'm not
any
going to
sense.
say this is not a team that needs adversity right now. I mean, they're undefeated,
Yeah, maybe they
but
could.
I mean, could light a little fire under them and be like, "Hey, man, I
Huh?
don't think we're going to win."
I think you might be right, though. This might light a nice little fire under them and give them a big victory. But I do think it's good.
I hope
good
it's under the
competitive game.
defense, bro. I hope it's not the
Oh,
offense. I hope it's
please.
the defense.
Please, defense, find a spark because it's been bad. But I do believe it'll be a good game. Washington pulls it off late. Kind of maybe Oregon State gets a touchdown to make it look better than it actually was. Give me Washington 40-34. All right.
Then that will cover up College Kings,
Once again.
episode 12.
Yes, sir.
Man, brother, it's always fun getting on here every Monday. It's always an awesome time.
Yes.
I hate that it's coming to an end soon, but it's not going to be the end of College Kings.
No.
It's just going to be the end of football season.
Yes.
Trust me, we have so many college sports. We have so much to talk about. But
Yes.
this is where the special things happen, dude. Another great week of college football's coming up, getting to the closer end of it. And, cherish every moment because, moments like these are so special, especially when Alabama goes into Atlanta December 2nd and takes down Georgia. That's all I want to say.
This guy over here.
Had to get it out of my system one more time.
One more time.
One more time. I can't say it to the dogs, dude.
You want to say it one
To
more
the
time?
dogs.
You want to say it one more time?
December 2nd.
What has happened December 2nd, CDU?
I can't say what I was going to say in my head. Intrusive thoughts on this one.
Oh.
Alabama takes down the Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta.
Hey.
Hey, come to find out, we're 4-4. We're 4-4 in Atlanta. I think we're like 3-0 in Crimson and something else in white. I don't know. Hey, well, let's just wear white and let's just go do it right, man. Come on, let's go. We got it. But thank you for always having me, sir. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. Hey, CDM. All right. I like your shirt.
Thanks. I like Woodstock.
All right.
I was there.
Hey, that's pretty cool. CDM, give me your favorite college football player of all time.
Ooh, my favorite college football player of all time.
Yes.
Part of me wants to say Tua, but I said that last one. Even though he is my favorite player, I can't say that. Favorite overall player. Man, there's been so much good talent, man. It's been so crazy. Derrick Henry.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a dominant force right there, dude.
That is a dominant force.
Don't worry. I'm not going to lie to you. I almost said Joe Burrow. That season that Joe had, dude, was probably my favorite season a quarterback's ever had. That was just awesome.
It was fun to watch. That was best season.
It was fun to watch. But Derrick Henry. Now, Nathan, who is your favorite overall college football player?
It's impossible for me to not say Joe. So I'm probably going to say Joe, and then like an alternative to that would be Jaden Daniels is pretty fun to watch.
It's just too soon right now. It's too soon,
right?
It's
I'd probably have to say
Remember, we've watched a lot of college
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to pick someone that
Like, I went Derrick Henry just because how dominant that dude was.
that was pretty fun. He was pretty fun to watch.
Could say Lenny.
He had some highs. That's for sure.
He had some lows too.
That's what I was thinking about. Oh man, you know what? I want to go with a defensive player too, though.
See, I thought about some defensive players, dude. I really did.
Dang, that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. If I was going off a defensive player, my favorite defensive player that I've seen play college football that I just thought was just pure fun to watch was Chase Young at Ohio State.
See, I was thinking Chase or the Bosa brothers. That's what I was thinking.
Oh God, both of them.
That's who I was thinking.
Could just say all three of them.
You could.
I mean, two of them play on the same team now in the NFL. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? What a trade. What a trade for the 49ers.
What a steal. Oh, my God. What a steal.
Dang. Hey, man. Heck yeah. Another good pod. Another good pod. All right. I think that'll do it for us. Let's get out of here. We're just talking about nothing anymore.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have a great night. Have fun editing this out.
Hey,
have fun taking this. Follow us. Instagram. Don't go look at my Twitter, but you can if you want.
Go follow his.
Viewer discretion is not advised.
And also, down at the bottom, you can find College Kings. Look at that. Yes, it's in there.
On Apple Music and Spotify, and we're still working on TikTok, coming soon to places near you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, and be safe.
Peace.